actually hit him with unanswered because I reckon it was over 30, you know what I mean? But it's one of them. He survived. He's one of the toughest men out there, and hats off to him. He's an absolute legend. As I said before, no one should tell that man to retire. He can retire off his own back when he wants to.
So much has been made about your weight in between camps, but I know you
Cheguei, galera. Vai
before the
começar
fight you
agora.
stayed pretty disciplined. I think you only were
Começar a
like
traduzir aqui pra
182 or
vocês.
something like that. Is that sort of a mindset you're going for?
A última
going forward?
resposta do Perry Pimblett foi
I don't ever
basicamente
want to
ele
hit
falando que
210 pounds again, put it that way. Know what I mean?
não tem nada a ver com a aposentadoria do Tony Ferguson, que ele que tem que definir quando que vai se aposentar.
I think at one point I got on the scales in America, there was 211. Know what I mean?
Já adianto que o sotaque do Perry Pimblett é um negócio complicado. Mas vamos lá.
190. My coaches are probably standing at the back there laughing, shaking their heads like, I bet you he does. But I'm gonna do my best, like, not to blue enough.
And I saw your ankle was swelled up. Is that the same one with Gordon or is it a different one?
No, it's the same one with Gordon, but it's not my ankle, it's actually the front of my foot.
Perguntando da lesão no tornozelo. Ele falou que é o mesmo tornozelo que ele teve a lesão antes, mas que não é a mesma lesão exatamente.
Nothing to do with my surgery, so I'm happy.
And score prediction for tomorrow?
9-0. The Mancs aren't gonna like it. It's gonna be sloppy time. Liverpool, top the league.
Palpite pro jogo do Liverpool, 9-0 pro Liverpool.
My opinion has changed about you this past year, but you almost kind of prefer that maybe having some fans kind of put you to the side and maybe even sleep on you?
Yeah, said this to Paul earlier today. I was like, it's mad because I've never really experienced getting booed until the press conference the other day.
Falou que nunca tinha passado por vaias na coletiva de imprensa, que foi a primeira vez e que por ele tudo bem, fez ele seguir em frente. O que importa para ele é as pessoas quererem ver ele lutar, seja por bem ou por mal.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Even though I was getting booed, people still love the walkout. People still go bananas for the walkout. So.
Perguntaram se ele acha que as vaias é por ter enfrentado alguém do tamanho do Tony Ferguson. Ele falou que acha que sim, que mesmo com as vaias a galera gostou da entrada dele. Tá feliz e acha que enfrentando outro adversário vão voltar a torcer por ele.
Liverpool Supporters Club here in Vegas, lad, and I've got the invite, so I think I'll be in there in the morning at 8:30, swinging my shit.
Falou que vai estar amanhã numa reunião de torcedores do Liverpool em Las Vegas torcendo pro Liverpool.
Hey Patty, you know you're known to talking trash, but is there a line when you're talking trash?
Perguntando se tem limite do trash talk, né?
People have mentioned stuff that I've tweeted before, but I've never mentioned anyone getting killed, anyone dying. Know what I mean? In Liverpool, we use the term terrorise very loosely. And it's like, if someone skits you, oh, your man's fat. It's like, oh, you've been terrored by him there. Know what I mean? We use the term terrorise very loosely.
Ele falando basicamente que tem linhas que não se cruzam, que... Falando do que o Kobe falou pro Leon.
Ever mention someone's dead relative.
Que jamais falaria, nunca, mesmo ele sendo um trash talker, ele nunca falaria da morte do pai de alguém ou nada do tipo. Que se fosse o Leon ia ter arrancado a cabeça do... Falando de cinema agora, elogiando o filme Oppenheimer, né? Falando que é o filme favorito dele no ano.
Down the middle, Paddy, right here. There was a lot of outside noise ahead of your kind of Jared Gordon fight. I'm just wondering, like, you came into this fight, there wasn't as much noise. Was that a decision that you made on purpose?
Yeah, the stuff outside of the cage leading into the Jared Gordon fight probably did affect me mentally going into it. It drained my energy a bit as well, to be honest. I didn't do a lot of other things, like last year when I come and I went to a Raiders game, I went to a hockey game the night before. I think that depleted my energy a little bit as well, you know what I mean? But this year I just focused on what I had to do and we got the job done.
Que ano passado ele estava com o foco um pouco desviado, mas esse ano ele focou no que tinha que fazer. E os resultados vieram.
I'm having identical girls. It's gonna be harder camp than any fight camp, I reckon.
É complicado o sotaque do Perry Pimblett.
I'm going to In-N-Out Burger for the 4x4 right about now. You know what I mean? We've got to go some other desk and then I'll be going and munching.
Thanks, Paddy. Congratulations.
You know that. Thank you very much. Have a nice night, people.
É isso. Essa foi a coletiva variada de Paddy Pimblett. Falou de cinema, falou de futebol, falou de luta. O que vocês acharam da performance dele no octógono, né? Porque venceu, mas confesso que não sei se justifica o hype, né? É um cara que fala muito bem, é vendável, mas ainda quero ver mais coisas dele dentro do octógono. Ó, vamos ver quem vem agora na frente. Será que é o Dana White já? Passando aqui no chat, Caio Calou falando de Oppenheimer, né? Que é extremamente tedioso. Não assisti, cara. Tenho que assistir, né? Acho que deveria, mas não assisti, mas vi muitas críticas nesse sentido mesmo. McLovin falando que Ferguson devia lutar o Invitational e sair da porrada, talvez, ou começar a se reinventar. Cara, é sempre complicado opinar sobre o futuro dos outros, mas eu acho que já deu de UFC, né, pro Tony Ferguson. Mas eu acho muito difícil ele parar de lutar agora, acho que não é o caso. Gustavo querendo ver o Pimblett com top 10. Cara, é difícil, né, peso leve. Acho que nem top 15 ele pega ainda. Bota ele com o Royal Álvares da vida, sei lá, que tá fora do top 15. Não sei se dá muita luta, não. Gabriel Lira falando que Colby é o lutador mais superestimado de todos os tempos. Muito ruim, limitado. A única coisa que tinha era gás. Eu acho exagerado, mas assim, superestimado, concordo. Não sei se o mais de todos os tempos. Muito ruim, discordo. Limitado, concordo. Tinha gás, não. Tipo assim, ele fez um quinto round forte nessa luta. Mas em vários momentos ele mostrou cansaço. Eu acho superestimado, eu assino. Bruno falando que achava que no final da luta o Tony ia se aposentar. Acho que passou pela cabeça de todo mundo essa possibilidade. Né? Mas não foi dessa vez. 7 derrotas seguidas, igualando o recorde negativo de BJ Penn. Colby é muita marra e pouca luta. Concordo, muito mais marra do que luta. Mas é um bom lutador, vamos lá. Tipo assim, não gosto não, mas é um lutador decente. Não vai ser campeão, nunca mais, eu acho. Mas tá ali. Tony Ferguson e Clay Guida, luta de retirada no UFC 300. Seria interessante, porque Tony Ferguson é o dono do pior recorde negativo de 7 derrotas seguidas, né, junto com o Jay Penn. E o Clay Guida é o cara que mais perdeu lutas na história do UFC. Tá aí. Tem enredo. A performance do Colby foi estranha demais. Não lutou 3 rounds, né? Abdicou de lutar 3 rounds. Começou a lutar a partir do 4º, perdeu. É isso. Strickland Duplessis. Cara, eu tava na live, eu não vi isso. Eu vi o pessoal do chat falando, mas eu ainda não parei para ver. Foram mesmo? Tipo, de fato? Soco na cara? Ou foi aquele entreveiro? Quem tiver visto aí me fala, porque eu não vi. Eu saí da live do evento e vim direto para a coletiva. Então não assisti. Mas gosto de fofoca, então mandem aí. Eu concordo com o Douglas, acho que ele tem muito mais microfone do que MMA de fato, mas é um bom lutador. Ó, porradaria real, os caras saíram na mão sincero. E quem foi Strickland 10-9 mesmo? Todo mundo de acordo? Ou tem margem para discussão? Strickland, educadamente convidado a ser retirado do ginásio, pediu para a família do Durinho se afastar. Cara, botar os dois um perto do outro, você corre esse risco, mas vai saber se não era isso que o UFC queria, né? Às vezes era. George Clayton, você acha que o Dana vai tentar fazer o Colby um campeão? Só se ele inventar outro cinturão aí, o cinturão do maior falastrão do UFC. Aí o Colby pode ser campeão. Fora isso, é dar murro em ponto de faca, né? Acho que seria loucura. Ó, o Gustavo também tá perdido aí. Rolou briga? Aparentemente sim. Sean Strickland e Drake Duplessis resolveram antecipar aí umas 4 semanas, né? A luta dos dois na T-Mobile Arena. Estamos aguardando aí quem será o próximo a aparecer na coletiva. Deve ser Dana White, né? Senhor Dana White. O último foi Perry Pimblett, para dificultar qualquer tradução. O cara fala o dialeto próprio. O pessoal falando que teve margem de 10-8 por conta da educação de Shane Strickland. O Strickland tem isso, né, cara? Ele é um malucão, assim, completamente lelé das ideias, assim, totó mesmo. Mas ele tem um quê de, sei lá, uns lapsos de gentleman, né? Eu preciso disso, falando que o Pantoja brincou com a sorte, faltou controlar mais para apanhar menos. É o estilo dele, cara, é difícil. Foi o estilo que levou ele a ser campeão. É um cara que vai pro mate ou morra, confia muito no queixo, que é um queixo muito sinistro, e até agora tá dando certo. Mas pode... Na minha opinião, Chave Cat e Michel Pereira daria a luta. Não sei não, hein? Ó, chegou o
gang. Tonight, the gate was 9.3 million.
9,3 milhões de
19,039 sold out.
receita. Sold out, esgotado.
Rosa. The performance of the nights were Shamil, Lipsky, and Emmett. They all won $50,000. Congratulations to them.
Aldana e Carol Rosa, obviamente, luta da noite. E Shamil, Lipsky e Emmett. Performance.
Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland. Song Yadong versus Jan. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della.
Michael Venom Page e Kevin Holland confirmado.
Who's got the first question?
Ian Gary, Jeff New.
Drop Michael Venom Page in there, like
Ian Gary, Jeff New.
I mean, what do you think about his?
These are the fights for Miami.
Very nice. I guess this one
de Miami.
Bryce Mitchell, an update for him.
Yeah, he's been released. He's good. I'm sure he's not great, but he's good. Yeah, he's good. He's healthy. He passed.
Atualizando sobre a saúde do Bryce Mitchell depois daquele nocaute traumático, recebeu alta já do hospital.
Halfway through the show, he was released.
Tá bem, na medida do possível, né?
Main event, a little bit of a perplexing main event, I guess. What were your thoughts on that?
I guess my take on it is, and you guys can let me know what you think, but when you're 35 years old and or any age in this sport, you're like, yeah, I'm going to wait. Waiting is never a good idea in this sport. This sport doesn't wait for anybody.
Falam que esperar nunca é uma boa ideia quando você tem 35 anos.
He got out wrestled. Leon looked good.
Falando que o Colby foi superado até no wrestling, que o Leon pareceu muito bem.
And then getting out wrestled too, and not to mention the fact that Leon absolutely destroyed that leg too. Yeah.
Que o Leon destruiu a perna do Colby Covington. Nada satisfeito com o Colby Covington. O Dana White. Crise no relacionamento.
Never have anybody wait in this business, man. This is not a business that waits for you.
Falando que nunca é uma boa ideia esperar, que esse não é um negócio que espera por você.
Once you start getting up into your mid-30s, when you're going to show up and just not look like you anymore.
Você nunca sabe quando você chega meados dos 30 anos, né, 35 anos. Você nunca sabe quando que você vai começar a performar mal. Né? Perguntando sobre o futuro do Leon Edwards, Estados Unidos ou Inglaterra.
Obviously, it makes a lot of sense to have him fight in England.
Faz muito sentido ele lutar na Inglaterra.
Usman twice, just beat Colby. Colby's the guy.
Ganhou do Usman 2 vezes, acabou de ganhar do Colby.
He'd probably be the dominant champion in that weight class, and Leon beat them both. So, yeah.
Se o Usman não existisse, o Colby provavelmente teria sido um campeão dominante. O Edwards ganhou dos dois. Então.
Very good. It's a tough opponent. I guess. What do you think about his performance?
Yeah, same. I mean, he looked great tonight. He looked great. Shavkat threw me off in the beginning when the way he was grappling instead of striking.
Falando do Rakhmonov, que decepcionou ele um pouco no começo, mas depois. Falando do Josh Emmett. Do nocaute absurdo. E elogiando também o card brasileiro.
Flyweight, we got Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi coming up. Do you kind of look at that as a number one contender fight now?
What's the question?
Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi. Do you look at that as a number one contender fight?
Probably.
Probably.
A pergunta foi se Amir Albazi e Bruno Moreno seria uma luta para definir o próximo desafiante ao cinturão. Dana White não quis responder.
What can you tell us about what happened and your thoughts on that?
So what kind of an asshole sits Strickland next to Duplessis?
Falando da briga do Strickland com o Duplessis.
That's who.
Que tipo de idiota coloca os dois para sentarem um do lado?
You actually did the seating assignment for that?
I do every seating assignment every week. Yeah.
All right, so that's on you.
Se culpando basicamente pela briga.
Yep.
Do we know
How fucking stupid is that? I mean, seriously. Well,
Foi uma
I
ideia
don't know
estúpida.
what humans you can sit Strickland next to, but definitely not.
Não sei de
today.
qual humano
You know,
você pode
I
colocar o
don't even know
Strickland
how
perto.
I missed that, and
Não sei como que eu deixei isso passar.
I guess everything's good. I mean,
Fez um meia-culpa, basicamente a culpa do Dana White que o Strickland e o Duplessis caíram
say
na
it all
mão.
the time. Jumped in there, told Strickland to relax, go in the back.
Ele falou pro Strickland de relaxar, ir lá para trás.
You know, Duplessis
Tirou ele da arena.
we were just literally talking.
Duplessis tá bem.
Gentlemen, we are in the fight business.
Estamos no negócio das lutas, né? Essas coisas acontecem.
These are the things that happen.
Dan, right here.
Hi.
What do you do with Tony Ferguson moving forward? Because obviously he took a lot of damage in that first round, but then he tried to fight back, and I think that's what 7 losses in a row now.
I would love to see Tony retire.
Dana White falando que adoraria ver o Tony Ferguson se aposentar.
Tony's popular, but like I said, he's on that kind of that skid. Do you now skyrocket him up?
Well, listen, when you talk about a skid, right? You
Quando
look
você
at the
fala
guys
de uma
that fought,
sequência
too.
ruim,
And,
tem que olhar
that
para os
plays a
caras que ele
factor into it.
enfrentou.
And how did he look right up until he lost?
E como ele saiu
Tonight looked like he should retire.
até ele perder. Mas
And,
que hoje
similar
ele
to, Cody
não saiu.
Garbrandt,
Não.
where you go with him? He wants to fight Davis.
Perguntando Cody Garbrandt agora.
Possibly UFC 300. A lot of people saying it looks like the Cody that fought Dominic Cruz when he won the title.
Cody looked damn good tonight.
Que o Cody saiu muito bem hoje, Cody Garbrandt
I do have to
saiu
ask.
muito
I know you
bem.
said that we're in the fight game and people say mean things, but did anything this week bother you at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It bothered everybody, I think. Listen. What I
Dana
say
White
is
se
true.
mostrando
The fight
incomodado
game
com a
doesn't mean
fala
things
do
are said,
Colby
and one of
Covington
the things
em relação ao pai do
that I
Leon
really
Edwards.
don't like is family. When you start going
Não,
after family and,
a única coisa que ele não gosta que se
whether
fale é
it's
de
the kids,
família,
the wife, the parents, the
filhos,
whatever,
mulher,
it's such
pais.
it's just such a nasty thing to do. But
É uma coisa
Man,
muito ruim de se
it's one
fazer,
of
né?
those
Muito
sports where
selvagem.
you say horrible things, and then
Mas é um
24
esporte
hours
onde se
later,
dizem coisas horríveis
it goes down. You know what I mean? And that's why
e
tonight
que se
you
pode
saw
resolver dentro do octógono.
Leon's corners going crazy, and I went over and said, guys, listen, you
O
won.
corner do Leon ficou doido e o Dana
You
White
won.
foi tranquilizar e falou assim: vocês venceram a luta.
You out-wrestled, you
Foi uma forma
out-struck,
dominante de se
you completely
vencer.
dominated tonight. If this turns into what it could possibly turn into, he's
Se isso se
gonna get
transformar
fined,
em algo maior,
and it's not worth it. Not worth it. You won the
vocês
fight.
vão. Vocês
Last one for
podem
me. Do you have to
se
like,
dar
when
mal,
Colby
então não vale a
brings up,
pena.
you know, Leon's murdered father? Do you have to pull him aside and say like, hey, don't maybe don't say stuff like that because Leon tried to get after Colby at that press conference you weren't at.
100%. Yeah, no, I don't ever tell anybody what to say.
Eu não digo para ninguém o que fazer.
When you go out on that stage, do not touch each other. You know, everybody thinks
O que eu
that,
digo
oh,
é para quando subirem
these
naquele
type of
palco da
things,
coletiva
I don't
nunca
love
se
it.
encostarem, mas
And
eu
more
não digo o que eles
importantly,
devem
the
falar.
commission doesn't love it. And the commission is the government. So, no, we don't like this stuff, and we do everything in our power.
Não
to make sure
gostamos
that it
desse
doesn't
tipo de
happen.
coisa e fazemos o máximo ao nosso alcance para
With
que isso
Colby
não
and his
aconteça.
performance tonight, obviously the time away from the cage probably was a factor, but do you think there was pressure on him, like, you know, involving Trump to the level he did, wanting the belt wrapped around by him, 35 years old, potentially last title shot? Do
Perguntando
you think
sobre
maybe
a
the pressure
pressão em
got
volta
him a
do
little bit?
Colby por
Yeah,
causa da
I think
relação com o
pressure gets
Trump
to
e tudo
everybody. I'm
mais.
sure Leon had a ton of pressure. I mean,
Leon
he was
também
talking
tinha
about
muita
what he said
pressão.
about his father, and you know, the last thing you want to do is now go out and lose to that guy. All these
A única
guys
coisa
feel
que você
pressure.
quer fazer, a última coisa que você quer fazer depois de falar tudo que você falou é perder para esse cara. Colby já esteve em grandes lutas
Did
e
Trump
pareceu
give his feedback
lento
on
hoje.
Colby's performance?
No, I mean, I think everybody felt the same way. I mean, he got out wrestled by Leon tonight.
Ele foi superado até no
What do you
wrestling.
make of that from Leon? Just the fact he wanted to do that as a statement. It was kind of his way of getting back at Colby for the words, right? Were you admiring that, or do you think, hey, that's a risk against a guy who could out-scramble?
No, I would imagine that, you know, if you look at Leon Edwards' last three fights, he's going up against two of the best wrestlers probably
Se você olha as
up in the
últimas
division,
3
right?
lutas
I
do,
mean,
do,
off the top
do
of
Leon
my head,
Edwards, ele enfrentou
and I'm
2
sure
dos
he's
melhores
he's
wrestlers
been wrestling
do
his ass
UFC.
off, and it
Então ele
really
tá
showed
treinando
tonight.
muito wrestling e ele
With
conseguiu
the
mostrar isso
Strickland
hoje.
Duplessis thing, were you at least grateful that Sean
Sobre a
asked the
briga
kids in
do
between them to
Strickland e
move
do
out the
Duplessis.
way first?
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Sobre o Strickland ter
And last one from me.
Could you step
pedido pro
aside
Durinho
so I
tirar a
can smoke
família
with the
dele,
gentleman,
ele
please?
falou,
Thank
eu não
you,
sabia
gentlemen.
disso, mas que
Yeah,
bom,
no,
né? Foi ótimo.
not good.
Achei
I was
ótimo.
bummed out there were kids at the press conference that day. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wild week. Last one from me. Just talk about MVP signing with the UFC. What you expect from him in that fight with Kevin
Falando
Holland.
sobre o Michael Page ter assinado com o
I think it's gonna
UFC,
be great. I mean, that's why we made that
acho que vai
first
ser
matchup.
ótimo.
That's a fun fight between two guys who
Uma luta divertida entre dois caras que
it's a good one.
Hi, Dana.
sabem
Right here.
como
Yep.
se divertir.
I'm just
Kevin
curious.
Holland e Michael Page.
Aljamain Sterling tweeted that he had tickets tonight and that they got pulled. I'm wondering if you know anything about that.
Well, they were tickets that he was with a sponsor. I don't know how.
Aljamain Sterling reclamou que
Team reached
estava
right
com
out to him
ingressos
and
e
said, "Yeah,
acabou
no,
sendo barrado do
Also,
evento,
it's
mas
been a while
o
since
Dana
we've
White
talked
falou
about
que era um
the
ingresso de
first lap was
patrocinador, que não tem
approved
nada a
in
ver com isso.
California. I'm just
Oh.
wondering if there's going to be an event maybe around UFC 298.
Yeah. So going into next year, you're going to see a lot of states open up in the first couple of months. We should have 5, 6, 7 states in early 24. And yes, we will start traveling around and doing it.
Que o UFC pretende viajar bastante no começo de 2024, em vez de ficar no
What were your
Apex.
thoughts on Shavkat Rakhmonov's performance tonight? Obviously,
Pergunta sobre
another dominant win
Rakhmonov.
against a tough guy.
Yeah, he looked good. I was a little shocked at the grappling, and pushing against the fence. I didn't see that coming.
Ele foi ótimo, eu fiquei um pouco chocado com o wrestling contra a grade, não esperava isso, mas ele conseguiu a finalização.
And
É o
from
primeiro
the
cara a
opposite
finalizar o
side of the
Stephen Thompson.
equation, Wonderboy. I'm just curious, like where you think he goes from here. He's getting older in age, but he's
Perguntando
still
sobre o
pretty
futuro
competitive.
do
He's had some wins recently.
Stephen Thompson,
Yeah,
que
I
já
don't
tem
know. I mean,
40 anos.
that's something he and his team are going to have to talk about. He's not.
Depende dele, ele e a equipe dele vão ter que conversar. É a mesma situação do Tony
Completely
Ferguson.
different.
Then one more thing
Quer dizer,
about
não
the
é a mesma
Strickland
situação do
incident.
Tony
There were some
Ferguson, é
police
completamente
officers that were
diferente.
involved kind of
É
breaking
um
it
cara
up.
que
To
ainda
your knowledge,
compete em
was there
alto
any sort
nível.
of legal issues?
No.
No.
I'm sure the police got better shit to do than, I mean, two guys who are going to fight here in a month, getting into a, skirmish.
Perguntando se teria alguma consequência legal
When
a
it gets
respeito da
physical
briga
like that, would you ever
do
consider
PC. Ele
finding?
falou que acho
I'm
que
not
não, os
talking
dois
about
vão
the
se
trash
enfrentar
talk
daqui a
stuff, but in
pouco.
terms of actually
Tem
like
coisa mais importante para resolver.
It's my job to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. If I wasn't an asshole, those two
O
would
trabalho,
sit next to each
o
other.
Dana White falando que
Just,
o
it blows
trabalho
my
do
mind
Dana é
that
garantir
I
que coisas
let
como essa
that
não
slip.
acontecem e que
It
se ele não
blows
fosse
my
um
mind.
idiota, não teria acontecido.
Dana, right back here in the middle.
Isso foram as palavras dele, tá? Não tô chamando Dana White
Brittany
de idiota.
Palmer's last UFC event. Obviously, there's
Falando
lots
sobre a
of
despedida de
ambassadors who
Brittany
don't
Palmer
fight
do
that
UFC,
are
né?
part of
Hoje
the
foi o
UFC
último evento
family.
dela.
Just what are your thoughts on her run in the UFC?
Yeah, her and Ariane both. So they both done their last.
Ela e a Ariane Celeste também, revelando que a Ariane Celeste também está se aposentando. As duas maiores ring girls da história, né? Do UFC.
A lot of people, myself included, were surprised there wasn't a surprise announcement of the main event for UFC 300 at yesterday's big seasonal press conference. Are you planning to go big when you do announce that one?
Perguntando sobre a luta principal do UFC
We're still
300.
working on Miami. I mean, Miami is becoming this ridiculous card right now. Too.
Ainda estão trabalhando no card de Miami, que é o
as we head into the
299,
new
que está se
year,
tornando um card
we'll start getting
gigantesco,
300 dialed in.
para
We
depois
wanted some
focar
stuff
no
to play out
300.
first.
Thank
Tem
you.
algumas coisas
Then
para se
finally,
resolverem antes.
just curious, was there any talk about trying to rebook Ian versus Vicente Luque, or did things just fall
We
apart?
offered Luque a bunch of fights. He turned them all down.
Ofereceram várias lutas para o Vicente Luque e ele recusou todas, segundo o Dana White. Por isso que Ian Gary vai lutar com o Geoff Neal.
Cody Garbrandt and Brian Kelleher, I guess. How'd you have that fight? What'd you think of that fight, and what'd you think of Joe's first fight as a matchmaker?
Oh, okay, yeah, got it.
Falando da luta do Cody Garbrandt com o Brian Kelleher, que foi a primeira luta casada pelo matchmaker novo, né? Aquele que ganhou o concurso que o UFC promoveu.
And you just mentioned Vicente Luque, you're supposed to fight Ian Gary, but obviously Kevin Holland, I'm sure you saw, he kind of threw his name into the hat as a potential replacement.
Falando do Vicente Luque,
Now
Kevin
we know
Holland
that
se
he's
ofereceu
fighting
para lutar.
MVP. Was there ever even a possibility of Kevin Holland stepping in to fight this weekend?
No.
Que não havia possibilidade
do
do
you think
Kevin
we're gonna
Holland
see more
de
seasons
lutar no evento de
going
hoje. Dana White falou isso.
For a long time.
No, I was just asking because, it's like the first one in a long time.
Yeah, well, we went through COVID.
Yeah. Thank you, Dana.
Yeah.
Dana down here too, right? Dana.
Yep.
Talking about the signing of MVP, you're
Falando
throwing
sobre a
information
contratação do Michael Page.
Is that because of like his age is kind of getting up there? He's 36, 37, I believe, or is that because of how highly you rate his skill set?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. I think it's his age and his experience, and you know, it's the right.
Falando da idade, da experiência, tudo junto que combinou, né?
To the UK, is that going to be 2 shows? Because it's looking like March is going
Cantando sobre o retorno ao Reino Unido, né?
Looks like the earliest will probably come in the summer. Would a end of year
Se vão ser 2 eventos em 2024.
or maybe even earlier?
I don't know yet. I mean, we haven't.
Não sabe
We
ainda.
haven't really got that far.
Não chegaram tão longe no calendário ainda. Estão começando o calendário de 2024.
On the board, so we're
Tem
still
muita coisa para
figuring
ser
it out.
definida ainda
We're
no
absolutely
no
coming back
quadro.
to England, yes.
And final one for me,
Mas com certeza voltaremos a
had fights that
Londres.
still live in this memory like today, or 14 and then 7 years ago. How big do you plan on making UFC 300, and do you think that you'll be able to top those 2 cards?
Well, think about tonight, the buzz and the energy around tonight's card, and look at the stuff that I'm telling you guys about Miami. So we
Vamos
got-
falar sobre o card de hoje,
Yeah,
tudo que a gente está falando
Miami,
sobre o card de
a bunch of other
Miami,
things.
vamos focar nisso em vez de falar do UFC 300.
I don't remember who I was talking to, but the way I see UFC 300 is when it comes out, people are going to be going, holy shit, that's the first prelim of the night? That's what UFC
Quando chegar a hora do UFC 300, as pessoas vão perder a cabeça e vão falar, meu Deus, essa é a primeira luta do card preliminar.
Said he was
Vai
banned
ser
from the
algo muito
arena
grande.
tonight, specifically by.
He said he was banned from the arena? No, what happened is he said some stupid shit on Instagram, and, you know, he bought tickets so he wasn't anywhere close. When you start saying stupid shit like that, yeah, you're probably going to get busted up and thrown out of here, you know, making threats and talking dumb shit, looking for clout.
I believe he said he was going to.
I don't care what he said.
I think he said he's going to confront Donald Trump. Is
I
what
don't
he
care what he said. Did he?
Eu perdi alguma coisa.
You know that? Fucking punk.
Alguém que falou que bateria de frente para Donald Trump e foi barrado de participar do evento, de entrar na arena. Mas eu
Islam
confesso que eu
Makhachev
perdi
has
quem foi.
spoken about potentially going up to face.
Falando sobre Islam Makhachev, uma potencial subida para os meio médios.
To talk to him and get his thoughts on the fight.
What's the question?
Islam Makhachev has spoken about wanting to face Leon and moving up. Is that a
Sobre
fight you're
querer
still
lutar com
you'd be
Leon
interested in making him? And did you
Se é uma
speak
luta
to
que
him
interessa.
and get
I
his
had
thoughts on the
lunch with
fight?
him. Yeah, I had lunch with him a couple days ago.
Almocei com o Islam.
And we didn't really talk about fights. We talked about
Não falamos sobre luta.
family and all kinds
Falamos
of
sobre
stuff.
família e tudo mais.
I don't know.
Mas não falamos sobre luta.
Stay at 55 and
Gostaria de vê-lo continuar no peso
you,
leve.
You just spoke of Neon, who's a content creator. You're a big supporter of content creators like the Nelk Boys, Nina, for example. How important are content creators for you in getting a younger eyes and a larger audience?
Pergunta
eyes
sobre
on the
criadores de
sport?
conteúdo, influencers no meio do MMA.
yeah, listen, my whole blueprint over the last year and a half has been all about that. So I'm very into it and have a lot of great relationships with a lot of these creators.
Tenho ótimas relações com várias dessas pessoas.
Yep.
Dana, right here.
No, back here.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi there. So you made some announcements about fights for 2024. A few months back, you also talked about the Sphere and booking it for Mexican Independence Day weekend, making that the biggest combat sports event in history in that arena. Callum Walsh was here tonight. Is it possible that that would be a crossover event? Would you have MMA and boxing in an event, or are you booking Callum for something in Las Vegas?
Então, sobre a possibilidade de evento cruzado entre MMA e boxe lá no...
I would either do boxing.
Acho que ele jamais faria isso.
And I don't know if I said it would be the biggest event ever, but it will be the best. That's what I said. It will, you know, creatively and what we're able
Falou
to
que
do
criativamente vai
inside
ser o melhor
Sphere.
evento de todos. Tá falando do evento da independência mexicana do ano que vem, né? Que ele quer fazer naquela cúpula lá de Las Vegas.
I'm not planning on Callum. Callum will probably fight in Ireland next year.
Que o Callum vai lutar na Irlanda.
We saw you recently with Vinny Pazienza's belt, and today's Vinny's birthday. Did
Yeah,
you
I
talk
know.
to Vinny? Did you wish him happy birthday today?
Yes, I did. I wish him a happy birthday today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, right
Yeah.
here.
Go ahead, buddy.
Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. Was that the plan for Ian Gary if you had got through Vicente Luque tonight?
No. We wanted to remake that fight, is what we wanted to do.
Queríamos fazer a luta com Vicente Luque, mas
See Ian Gary.
Falando do Ian Gary, né, que vai lutar com Geoff Neal no UFC 299. Para quem perdeu essa informação, Vicente Luque perdeu a barca ali. Dana White falou que ofereceram várias lutas para o Vicente Luque, ele não aceitou nenhuma, então ele perdeu e o Ian Gary pulou para o Geoff Neal.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana.
Go ahead.
I'm curious, you know, the conversations you've had with Colby, because you mentioned that, you know, waiting is a bad thing in the window. So
Mais uma pergunta sobre Colby Covington, falando
he was really good. You know, he was like right there with Usman, who was the pound for pound.
que esperar é ruim, mas ao mesmo tempo foi bom para ele, já que ele disputou o cinturão, né?
Do you give me any indication of like why he hasn't, you know, he's had these bouts of inactivity?
That's actually.
Por que ele ficou tanto tempo inativo?
You know, this gentleman over here, I think, asked me about the one of you two about what's too much and when it comes to you know, the trash talk. After that press conference, or during, in the middle, or whatever.
Depois daquela coletiva de imprensa.
Literally, you can literally, and it wasn't like they were like our analytical team was basing it off YouTube views. They were basing it off actual pre-buys while the press.
A venda de pay-per-views aumentou muito.
25%.
Depois do que o Colby fez na coletiva de imprensa.
ESPN globally up 25%, which is fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
So he was also leaving money on the table in a sense too, by not fighting more often. He was leaving money on the table.
Well, I mean, you see guys that want to wait. I mean, Chandler's waiting right now.
Você vê caras que escolhem esperar. Michael Chandler está esperando agora.
Waiting for Conor. Colby was waiting for something else.
Yeah. Wow. No, he's waiting for a title shot.
Colby estava esperando uma disputa de cinturão.
You've made your feelings pretty clear about PFL and Bellator, but I'm just curious about your opinion about
another
major promotion. You know, some managers have kind of expressed their concern on social media, like there's fewer fights for some of the fighters who are not in the UFC now.
You mean
Bellator?
Bellator going to PFL?
Yeah, Bellator kind of going away essentially.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing for kind of the state of?
It is a bad thing, you know.
Se o Bellator acabar, é uma coisa ruim para o MMA como um todo. Dana White falou que sim.
So that I will.
I'm asking around.
No. I'm not talking about you. Guys will ask me loaded questions to push me.
Me fazem muitas perguntas.
What I want to say, so what I will say, so you can get your fucking clickbait that you need and want. But yes, it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing for there to be.
Não é bom o Bellator ter acabado. Não é bom ter menos opções para os lutadores fora do UFC.
To have less options. So,
principalmente os lutadores que estão começando agora e surgindo terem menos opções de eventos grandes para lutar.
With his performance tonight, the fact that he's 18 fights, 18 finishes, exciting. Seems like
Rakhmonov, 18 lutas, 18 interrupções.
Is there a chance that like he can leapfrog the law and get that title shot? I know timing's everything.
Tem uma chance dele furar a fila e disputar o título.
Yeah,
se ele está na conversa.
The guy's undefeated and everything you said is on point. Yeah.
Sim, ele está invicto, tudo que você falou faz sentido.
Right here, right now, I have no idea.
Mas aqui agora eu não tenho ideia do que fazer.
We're dark here for, you know, next few weeks, so.
Vamos conversar sobre isso nas próximas semanas. Temos muita coisa para resolver nesses feriados.
Do you happen to know Trump's?
Well, I mean, like I said, I think he felt the way everybody felt. I mean, I don't know what you guys' opinion was, but mine was that he looked really slow. He had a hard time handling.
Acho que Trump sentiu a mesma coisa que todo mundo sentiu, que o Colby estava muito lento, que não ia conseguir vencer por causa da velocidade, porque que foi esperado no
He
wrestling.
didn't voice anything. He waited till Colby spoke after the fight and wanted to hear his.
Donald Trump não falou nada, esperou até a entrevista do Colby e foi embora. Então não teve muito o que falar.
No.
And then finally,
Do you think Secret Service is going to let him get up there in the middle of the octagon?
I mean, I'm
Definitely not.
Se o Donald Trump ia realmente subir no octógono e o Donald falou que não tinha nenhuma chance, que o serviço secreto dos Estados Unidos jamais permitiria isso.
Moment of this year that, you know, kind of that I guess you would remember from this year?
No. The problem with me is that I'm one of these guys, like you guys like to ask me lots of questions about, legacy in the past and the this and that. I don't ever really even think about the past. I'm always thinking about.
Falou que não pensa nunca no passado, que fazem muita pergunta para ele sobre legado e sobre passado, mas ele está sempre pensando na frente. Talvez ele deveria ser um pouco, devesse ser um pouco mais nostálgico. Mas ele está sempre pensando no futuro.
Take on this question kind of already, but was there like an event that you were just kind of stands out to you from being a part of this year, or is that the same answer for that one too?
It's funny, man. I feel like every one of our events are always awesome. I mean,
todos os eventos são sempre ótimos.
The last Miami show was incredible.
O último evento em Miami, o evento no Madison Square Garden.
I love the Contender Series, man.
Eu amo o Contender Series.
We're sitting in the office, and literally everybody gets up to leave to go to the Contender Series, and
estamos sentados no escritório, todo mundo sobe para ver o Contender Series. Eu amo aquelas lutas. Amo o que está em jogo. Você tem que lutar por um contrato. Amo tudo sobre o Contender Series. Falando basicamente que a parte preferida dele no ano foi o Contender Series.
Does go up to you and say, I want to continue, are you guys going to offer him another fight, or is that kind of like a let's sit down and talk about it?
Yeah, listen, Tony's been an absolute warrior and a dog in this sport, and I don't want to disrespect him by publicly talking about him retiring, but I would love to see him retire.
Falando que adoraria ver o Ferguson se aposentar, que acho um pouco até desrespeitoso falar sobre isso em público, mas é isso.
In terms of money, like as a business, this season 2023 was one of the best in the UFC history.
Yeah, so what continues to happen is,
falando que financeiramente essa temporada de 2023 foi uma das melhores da história pensando em todos os lugares que a gente ainda não visitou em anos. Vamos voltar para Toronto, um lugar que a gente não vai há muitos anos. Sempre com ótimos fãs. Eu amo a cidade de Toronto. Quando começamos a entrar nesses outros mercados,
what's the gate? What's it going to be and all this shit? And I told him 9.3 million. He's like, wow, I didn't realize the gate was that big and whatever. Where does that rank all time? Ranks number 15. So, if you look at what's happened over the last
a receita de hoje foi muito boa, 9,3 milhões, mas é só top 15 da história, né? Esse valor cresce cada vez mais. Então, 2024 você vai entrar em novos territórios ou territórios que você não visita há muito tempo e que tende a ser melhor ainda.
In 2023, UFC went to Brazil twice.
Yep.
For 2024, how many events can we expect in Brazil?
I don't know that right off the top of my head either, but obviously, how I always talk about Mexico and England, and Brazil is a very important market.
Brasil é um mercado muito importante, não sabe precisar ainda quantas vezes eles virão ano que vem. Mas sempre iremos ao Brasil.
He was asking tonight that he told me he's gonna ask you and the UFC to give him the chance to headline or maybe be the common event in Brazil. He wants to fight in Brazil.
Pantoja já pediria para ele para ser a luta principal ou co-principal do próximo evento no Brasil.
Nice.
Essa foi a resposta do Dana White. Sim. Podemos esperar a Pantoja no Brasil ano que vem, então.
Não.
Nenhuma negociação entre Paulo Costa e
Whittaker. It's going to happen the first UFC event there, right?
Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
What's the question about it?
It's going to happen the first UFC event over there, right?
Yeah.
So, since it's the first, and can we expect like something huge, like maybe, even though it's a
you talking about the card? Will the card be great? Yes, going to put together a badass card for Saudi Arabia.
Falando que o card da Arábia Saudita vai ser grande.
Title shot, headlining.
It's a great question. It's the first
por ser o primeiro evento na Arábia Saudita.
Obviously, those guys operate at a very high level, and we will bring a not typical fight night to Saudi Arabia.
será um Fight Night não típico. Será um Fight Night de luxo, digamos assim, esse evento na Arábia Saudita. Não confirmou se podemos ter uma disputa de cinturão, mas falou que vai ser um card estrelado.
Even you, well, I understand you. This is unbelievable. Yes.
Dana, down here to your right.
Yeah.
You talked about new territories, and every time I speak,
Falando sobre novos territórios.
Africa. I know that's something that you said that's going to be a bucket list thing for you.
Yeah, it's super important to me.
Can you provide any?
So here's the thing when we talk about UFC Africa, right? Dreykus, he's South African. So there's this whole thing about, well, if you go to South Africa, you're not really going to Africa.
Drake do Plessis é da África do Sul,
You know what I
então
mean? But if the guy
tem toda essa
who
questão
ends up
sobre
being
você da África do Sul e não
South
ser
Africa,
da África,
then
de
we would
fato.
probably start in South Africa. And then you know that my
Provavelmente
long-term goal
começaremos pela
is
África,
really
pela África do Sul.
plant some roots there, like we're doing in Mexico, like we did in China. Like
Queremos
we're gonna do
plantar
in other
raízes,
spots
como a
there.
gente fez no México,
And,
como estamos
start
fazendo na
pumping out
China,
young talent from that country.
e captar talentos da África.
What other countries have you earmarked as potential locations?
Well, we've talked about Nigeria. You know what I mean?
Falando
We
sobre
talked about,
Nigéria.
what was the two? There's Nigeria, Rwanda were the two places that we're
Rwanda.
talking. So the three places: South Africa, Nigeria, and
África
Rwanda.
do Sul,
One before
Nigéria
we
e
walked out
Ruanda,
with Jack
né?
Black and the Tenacious
Angola.
D gang. Any chance more of the same from fighters if they propose the idea to you?
Não, Ruanda, Nigéria e África do Sul são três países que estão no radar do UFC para eventos na África
So
no
yeah,
futuro
I'm all
próximo.
for that. As long as nobody's stinging or any of that shit, we're good. Yep.
Dana, just kind of curious, what are your goals looking like for 2024? You have a lot, big plan. What are some of the-
Objetivos para 2024, se tem algum grande plano?
In 24 we're gonna be opening the PI in Mexico.
Vamos abrir o Instituto de Performance no México.
We're really gonna start grinding down there
Para começar a captar talentos de fato no México.
Then, like she was saying before, then is Mexican Independence Day at the Sphere.
O evento da independência do México, na Sphere, na esfera de Las Vegas.
I guess as I get my shit together, I will let you know more about how that thing's going because I got all these plans for it, but I'm working on it right now. So Mexico is huge for us next year.
México é grande negócio para o UFC no ano que vem.
Leon Edwards winning, and beating Usman twice and beating Colby. The UK is big. I also was saying the other day, I want to start hitting places like Manchester and, other places in the UK other than just London again. And first,
Quer ir para outros lugares na Inglaterra, além de Londres.
We got to deliver on that one. So we got some big things working that we have to.
Algumas coisas grandes sendo trabalhadas.
Talking about bringing a boxing match to Ireland. A lot of new stuff going on next year. Fun stuff. You done with me? Happy holidays, everybody. You and your family have a great one.
E acabou assim a coletiva do Dana White. O grande destaque fica, acho que pela decepção dele com o Colby Covington, não esperava. Achei que ele fosse passar um pano ali pro Colby, mas não foi o caso. E claro, para os anúncios do UFC 299, né? Não sei se vou lembrar todos de cabeça, mas os principais. Acho que Michael Page contra o Kevin Holland. Teve também Ian Gary contra o Geoff Neal, né? O Vicente Luque perdendo esse barco, perdendo o trem. Ian Gary enfrentando o Geoff Neal no UFC 299 em Miami, em março, né? 9 de março. E daqui a pouco a gente deve ter Alexandre Pantoja. Acredito que seja o próximo a comparecer aí. Não sei se o Brandon Royval vai para a coletiva. Confirmando aqui os anúncios do Dana White para o 299. Michael Page, Kevin Holland. Song Yadong contra Peter Yan. Gilbert Durinho contra Jack Della Maddalena. E Ian Gary contra Geoff Neal. 4 lutas anunciadas aí pelo patrão para o UFC 299. precisa disso, falando que os golpes podem encurtar a carreira do Pantoja, sem contar que haja coração. Cara, acho que mais do que encurtar a carreira, vai encurtar a nossa vida, né? Porque realmente haja coração. Teste para cardíaco mesmo as lutas do Pantoja. Claro, tem que ter essa preocupação. Absorver golpes demais nem sempre é uma boa coisa, porque o queixo funciona até certo ponto, mas quando ele quebra a primeira vez, ele nunca mais volta a ser o mesmo. Né? Então é uma preocupação que eu não tenho dúvida de que a equipe do Pantoja tem noção disso também. E ele vai evoluir nesse ponto. Acho que tem que melhorar realmente a defesa ali na luta em pé. Porque o queixo é muito forte, mas quanto menos exigido ele for, acho que é melhor. O Nilson Nogueira falando aí. O importante é que o Colby se deu mal, né? Traduzindo aqui para uma linguagem apropriada. Concordo. Sei lá, são 4h20 da manhã, eu já não preciso mais fingir simpatia nenhuma pelo Colby Covington, né? Por mim. É isso aí para baixo. E aí, rapaziada? Vocês estão acordados ainda? Estão comigo? Preciso da moral de vocês também, que 4h20 da manhã, traduzindo aí essa galera. Preciso da interação de vocês para continuar aqui firme e forte. Então, mandem perguntas, comentários, sugestões. E vamos em frente. McLovin aí, ó. Achou justo do Vicente? Cara, é porque a gente não sabe o que aconteceu de fato. Se aconteceu o que o Dana White falou, de oferecerem várias lutas para o Vicente Luque e ele recusar, aí não tem o que fazer, né? Aí perde o barco mesmo. Mas não estando por dentro dos bastidores, fica difícil a gente fazer esse juízo de valor. Mas bom pro Ian Gary, que subiu uma casinha, né? O Geoff Neal tá à frente do Vicente Luque no ranking, então o Ian Gary acabou se dando melhor. Paulo Vitor falando que tá acompanhando, porque em Portugal já é de manhã. Tá na vantagem aí do fuso horário, né? João Mão Brabo, João Pereira, Kobe Lorota Mor, saudações vascaínas de Orlando. Tá bom, né? Saudações aí de Orlando. Aleph Manga elogiando aí a tradução, valeu demais. Se eu acho que o Makhachev vai ser um campeão muito dominante, acho que ele tem tudo para ser. Mas ele precisa querer defender o cinturão, né? Ele já tá falando de subir para os meio médios, eu fico desanimado com isso. Eu acho que tem desafios para ele no peso leve, tem a revanche do Charles, tem o Justin Gaethje, tem o Tsarukian surgindo aí, tem várias histórias para ele vivenciar no peso leve, e eu acho que subir de peso agora nada a ver. Já defendeu o título 2 vezes contra o cara da divisão de baixo, tem que lutar na própria divisão. Essa estreia do Michael Page contra o Kevin Holland vai ser irada, o Gabriel tá falando, com certeza, cara. Vai ser irada. Isso eu não tenho dúvida. Eu acho que o Michael Page, confesso que acho que ele não tem nível para lutar por título do UFC, mas tem capacidade de protagonizar boas lutas. E essa luta contra o Kevin Holland é uma boa luta. Lucas Rezende, o Edward será um lutador dominante por quantos anos? É um exercício de futurologia difícil, né? Tem o Rakhmonov chegando aí, tem o Belal Muhammad, que pode ser um adversário duro também. Não sei, ele tem se mostrado sólido, dominou 2 dos principais nomes da categoria aí nos últimos anos, Kamaru Usman e Colby Covington. Difícil, tem potencial para ser dominante, mas ao mesmo tempo tem nomes muito fortes na categoria que podem destroná-lo. Isso a gente vai vendo com o tempo. Colby Poirier no UFC 300 tem um bad blood ali, né? Tem uma rusga, uma treta entre os dois, principalmente depois da saída do Covington da American Top Team. Vem chegando alguém, hein? Alexandre Pantoja na área. Vamos ver se ele vai responder. Ele tende a responder em inglês, né? Então, serei útil aqui ainda para vocês.
Congratulations on the victory. Obviously, a dominant performance. I just want
Parabéns
to ask
pela
you,
vitória, performance
coming in as
dominante.
the champion, was the experience different mentally, physically, anything?
É diferente entrar no octógono como campeão. Obrigado a todos, obrigado demais. Eu não esperava uma guerra como essa de novo. Essa é a divisão peso mosca. São caras muito preparados para esse momento. Todo meu respeito ao Brandon Royval. Eu chutei ele tão forte no primeiro round. Tem um chute muito bom.
can show you more my strike in that fight, you know.
Eu
Of course,
fiquei feliz de
grappling,
mostrar um pouco mais da minha trocação
make me
nessa
skill,
luta.
but I can show more
Foi o meu grappling que
my
me fez
striking game,
permanecer
you
com o
know.
cinturão, mas
And,
eu pude
I
mostrar
shake him
meu
a couple
jogo
times with my right
de luta
hand.
em pé.
And,
Balancei ele algumas
but
vezes com minha mão direita.
that's it, you know. Brandon Rival coming with the prime time, and I respect he deserved all my respect because he's still coming.
Brandon
you know.
Rival merece
He don't
todo o
give
meu
up any
respeito,
round, you know.
porque ele não desistiu em
I
nenhum
tried
round.
to katagatame, I tried
Tentei o
to lead the show.
katagatame,
I sure
tentei
am really
o
close to finish him.
mata-leão.
And,
Fiquei muito
I made
perto de
a
finalizar
lot of
ele.
power, a lot of stretching in that moment. I talked with my coach how he don't tap, you know.
Perguntei pro meu treinador como que ele não bateu.
Yes, very respect for him. And
Muito respeito
that
por
moment
ele.
proved me what when I young and I watch a lot of movies like Van Damme, Joe Van Damme.
Assisti
Sylvester
todos os filmes do
Stallone.
Van Damme,
And,
Sylvester
my
Stallone.
wish is I want to fight with the best fighter in the world.
E meu desejo
And
é
now I'm
sempre
here,
lutar
you
com
know,
os
fighting
caras
the
mais
best fighters in the
duros
world.
do mundo.
Incredible.
E eu
You
estou
talked a
fazendo
lot
isso
about
agora.
working on his jiu-jitsu, his pure jiu-jitsu coming into this. Did you find him to be a better fighter this time around than the first time?
You know, and he improved a lot, you know. He involved so
Ele provou
much, you
muito.
know, and he learned with
Ele aprendeu
with
muito com a
the
derrota na
last
primeira
fight with
luta.
me, you know. He lose from me and
Ele perdeu para
he
mim,
grew up so much. He go to the another
cresceu
level, you know.
muito,
And I'm very
foi
happy
para
for
outro
him.
nível.
And
Fico muito
I
feliz
wanna
por
make
ele.
sure the next time I fight with him, I need to train a lot, to make a lot
E eu tenho certeza
work
que
in
na
the
próxima
gym,
vez
you
que eu
know,
lutar
because
com ele, eu vou
he can
precisar
much
treinar
better, you
muito,
know.
porque ele vai
He
estar muito
deserve all
melhor.
my respect.
Esse garoto merece todo o meu
All
respeito.
my respect, you know. All good fighters, all the fights with
Essa
flyweight,
divisão merece todo o meu
bottom of
respeito,
the
são
night,
grandes
fight of the
lutadores.
night performance. I'm very happy to
Sempre com
represent
bônus de
the
luta da noite, performance da
As
noite.
champion,
E eu estou
you
muito
don't
feliz
have
de
to
fazer
call out
parte disso.
anybody, right? They have to come to you, but are there
O
fights that
campeão
you
não
want
precisa
to
desafiar
have
ninguém, mas
during your reign as
tem
champion? Are there names
algumas
on the
lutas que
list
você
that
tem
you
em
want
mente
to
como
compete against?
campeão.
I want to call everybody, you know.
Eu quero desafiar
I
todo
love
mundo.
this division. I love to watch these
Eu amo
guys
essa
fight,
divisão,
you know.
eu amo assistir esses
Almir
caras lutando.
Moreno, that's more close
Amir
guy, I
Albazi,
think
Breno
so.
Moreno,
And Manel Capi, I love to
Manel
watch him
Capi,
fight too.
são caras que eu
Kai
adoro
France,
lutar, ver
spectacular
lutar.
performance,
Kai
you
Kara
know.
France,
All the guys, Matheus
performances
Nicolau,
espetaculares.
he's a very true guy too, you know. And what I mean, I love, you know, I love this opportunity to fight like that.
Eu amo a oportunidade de
And,
lutar contra esses
In
caras.
my room, I can see the T-Mobile Arena and the same color in the
No
Coliseu.
meu quarto eu consigo ver a T-Mobile
And,
Arena.
I love that. The last time I fight with Moreno, I watched Rock, and this time I watched Gladiator. And
A última vez que eu lutei contra o Moreno, eu assisti Rock, e dessa vez eu assisti Gladiador. Eu queria lutar como um gladiador. Matar ou morrer o tempo todo.
You mentioned
Tô
Moreno
muito
and
feliz.
Albazi. Are you looking at that as the number one contender fight, that the winner fights you?
I think so, you know, the number one.
Acho que a luta do Amir Albazi contra o Breno Moreno é a luta para definir o próximo
Very good
desafiante.
fight for Moreno. Now
É uma
he's
luta
starting
muito
to
boa
fight
pro
with
Moreno.
another personal, no just me and Figueiredo.
Agora ele pode lutar contra outra pessoa que não seja eu ou o
Gonna
Davidson
watch that
Figueiredo.
fight, very interesting fight. And, I
Vou
want to
assistir essa
see
luta
how
com certeza, é uma
Moreno
luta
gonna
muito
do,
interessante.
with a
Quero ver
different
como
guy,
que o Moreno vai se sair lutando contra um cara diferente.
different game for him. And,
Tem
but
jogo
Moreno
complicado
from
para ele.
Mexico, and that's a good point for him, you know. That guy all the time put the Mexico flag in the arms. And,
Ele sempre carrega a bandeira do México.
Brazil
Ele vai
flag.
lutar no México, então é muito bom para ele.
Last thing for me, Dana was here earlier, and he said he likes the idea of you fighting in Brazil for your next fight. But is
Dana
that
falou que gosta da ideia dele lutar no Brasil.
right? So is that most important is to fight in Brazil, or will it kind of depend
O mais
on
importante é lutar no
when the event
Brasil
is
ou
happening and who's available?
ou depende de quando for, velho?
I fight in all the world, you know. I fight in
Eu lutei no
South
mundo
Korea,
inteiro.
I fight in
Lutei
Abu
na
Dhabi, I
Coreia
fight
do
in
Sul, Abu Dhabi,
Chile, Argentina,
Chile,
and Glasgow.
Argentina,
I never fight for
Glasgow,
UFC in Brazil, you know.
mas nunca lutei pelo
And,
UFC no Brasil.
That's my wish for
Esse é meu
Dana,
desejo
you know, for the Christmas, you know. I want to
pro-
fight. I want
é
to
meu
defend my
presente de
belt in
Natal.
Rio de Janeiro. That's my
Eu quero
town,
defender
you
meu
know.
título no Rio de
And,
Janeiro, na minha cidade.
I try to be a new idol for Brazil, you know.
Eu quero ser um novo ídolo para o
all the
Brasil.
week, you know. Brazil need a good idols.
Vejo a
good
semana
heroes
inteira.
right now, you
O
know.
Brasil precisa
Some
de um
guy
novo
respect,
ídolo, de um novo herói.
your opponent, some guys
Uma pessoa
killing your
que
family all the
respeite,
time,
que respeite
you know. This
os
coach with
adversários, a
my
família.
young son in my side, he helped me a lot, you know.
Meus filhos
I
estavam
make a
aqui
good
comigo.
work, like a parent, you know, make a good work like a husband, a father.
Eu faço um bom
and,
trabalho como pai, como marido.
restriction for the world.
E eu quero ser uma boa imagem pro
You were on
mundo.
stage during that press conference with Colby and Leon and everything, and you talk about being a
Perguntando
family
sobre
man, being
a
a husband
questão
and everything. I'm
do
curious, what did
Edwards
you make of all
com Colby.
what Colby said to Leon and what they were all saying back and forth to each other, bringing up family members and everything?
I don't agree with everything Sean Strickland say, but this time I'm with him.
Eu não concordo com tudo que Sean Strickland fala, mas eu
he talk
concordo
a
com o
lot
que ele
too,
falou.
I don't like when he talk about
Eu não gosto
female
de quando ele
division,
fala
because that's
da família.
the job for all the families, he need that's a payment, when you talking about imagine if you talk about your job, that's so disrespectful.
Quando alguém fala do
But
seu emprego é muito desrespeitoso. Mas eu concordo com ele quando ele fala
What did Kobe say? I think a lot of fights say
que o que o Kobe
that's
fez,
not,
o que o Kobe falou,
the bullshit, the trash talking ever, I'm not really
muitos
close about
lutadores
my
são
father,
acostumados a fazer esse trash
and,
talking, mas
I respect a lot Leon Edwards, everything
eu
he
respeito
do
muito
for your
Leon
family,
Edwards,
for your country, everything he
tudo que ele
does
faz pela
for that
família, pelo
moment.
país.
And I'm super happy Kobe don't win today,
Fiquei muito feliz pelo Kobe não ter vencido hoje.
all these people, and think he need a new, like I say, he need a new heroes, the world need a good people.
As pessoas, o mundo precisa de novos heróis.
The victory de Leon proved that, the world.
E a vitória do Leon Edwards provou isso, que o Kobe Covington não deve ser um herói para ninguém.
You might have to fight guys like Manel Kape and Muhammad Mahayev. They do a lot of talking. I'm curious, do you look forward to that?
Falando sobre caras que têm muito trash talking, né? O Mokaev, o Manel Kape, que podem ser adversários dele no futuro.
Like I say, I love this division. I love all
Eu
the
amo essa
fights.
divisão.
Mokaev, I trained with him in American Top Team. He's very
Treinei
good
com o Mokaev
guy,
no
very
American Top
technique,
Team.
very
Ele é um
talented
cara
guy.
muito
He
talentoso,
keep
muito técnico,
Manel Kape,
que continua
very
aprendendo.
tough opponent too.
Manel Kape é um cara muito duro também.
I try to keep this belt, bro. I have a lot
Eu quero
of work
manter
to
esse
do.
cinturão. Tem muito trabalho para fazer.
Brandon Rival.
Tive essa luta com o Brandon Rival.
Finish this fight in the first or second round.
Eu esperava conseguir
But
acabar com essa luta no primeiro e no
he's
segundo
still
round,
coming for me,
mas ele continua andando para frente.
I know I have a big nose. He can catch sometimes. But
Eu sei que eu tenho um nariz
really
grande, ele
feel
acabou me
the power,
acertando algumas
I
vezes.
respect him a lot. I respect his heart. But like I say, I'm from Brazil. And,
Eu sou do Brasil.
I'm from a very small town, Arraial do
Sou de uma
Cabo.
cidade muito
And my
pequena,
coach
Arraial do Cabo.
master, Albert Reis. I go to him to train in a lot of gyms, and I train with a lot
Treinei em
of
muitas
guys.
academias,
And
com muitos
you know,
caras.
if you try to you punch me, you need to punch really hard for I feel.
E se você tentar socar minha cara, você
I'm
precisa
all division, I'm back to my gym.
socar muito
My
forte,
coach say
porque
1 week off, and I go now back hungry.
And last one for me.
eu vou ficar uma semana fora agora descansando e vou voltar faminto.
Headlines and you're the co-main event. How massive would that be in Brazil?
I think that this perfect spot, Pereira, to Alex.
Seria um cenário perfeito. Alex Poatan de luta principal, Alex Pantoja de luta co-principal.
In January, and make you can put 3 belts in the line, and still in Brazil.
Que a Chitara pode conquistar o cinturão. Talvez a gente consiga 3 disputas de cinturão no Brasil. 3 campeões.
Your last 2 fights have been rematches.
As suas últimas lutas têm sido revanches. Você quer enfrentar alguém novo ou não importa enfrentar?
I fight with all division, Like
eu luto com a
I
divisão
fight
inteira.
with Kai France in the Tough Show. I fight
Lutei
with
com
Manuel
Kai
Kape,
France no
Manuel-
TUF.
Matheus Chinal.
Lutei com Matheus
A
Matinal,
lot of names, Alex Paris,
Alex Pérez.
Of course, maybe a new name is gonna good
Talvez
idea.
um novo nome seria
These guys know all my
interessante.
plan, know all my game
Esses
plan,
caras
they
sabem
know
todo o meu
how-
plano,
how
minha estratégia.
he come today. He tried to take my belt.
Basta ver como que o Brandon
and
Royval
I see
veio
his
hoje e
eyes,
tentou
he's
tirar
ready
meu
to bet.
cinturão.
And he's so much better with
Ele melhorou
the last
muito
fight he did with me.
da última luta até agora.
God give him the bless. God give him the right answers today.
Mas Deus me deu a bênção, me deu as
It's
respostas
in Brazil.
certas. E o cinturão continua no Brasil.
Back to American Top Team.
Let's go, man. American Top Team create a monster right here, And,
American Top Team criou
I'm very happy to American Top Team get another trophy for the Gym of the World. He deserves
Sou muito
all the
feliz
belts.
pela American Top Team conquistar mais um
I want to say
troféu.
in the public how much and say thank you for Dan Lambert for everything he do it, not just for me, but for all the people
Agradecer Dan Lambert por tudo que ele fez, não só por mim, mas todo mundo envolvido no American Top Team.
Any money, and I'm like a nobody, you know. I make like 2 fights in the UFC, and he take care about me a lot, you know. And now I'm the champion of the world. Now I can
Agora sou campeão mundial.
For my family, you know, provide for my family.
Posso prover para minha família.
To all that, you know. And,
foram eles que me deram a oportunidade disso tudo.
Thank you so much, Dan Lambert, for everything you do.
Obrigado, Dan Lambert, por tudo que fez por nós no American Top
I'm
Team.
sure you were aware that you were up on the scorecards going into that last round, but it seemed like Brandon did have a glimpse of a second win during that round. What were your thoughts during that round?
You know, I need to watch the fight again, but
Preciso assistir a luta de novo.
I'm fighting for a long time.
Eu luto há muito tempo.
When I have 17, now I have
Minha primeira luta eu tinha 17 anos, agora eu tenho 33.
Like 20 fights in Muay Thai.
Fiz 20 lutas de Muay Thai.
MMA.
Muito mais no MMA.
I can say I think I won all the rounds, you know.
Eu acho que eu ganhei todos os rounds.
Of course, I want to finish all the time.
Eu queria a finalização. Eu balancei ele várias vezes.
Grappling positions, you know, it's very hard.
Tive várias posições de domínio no grappling. Ele é um cara de alto nível no grappling. É difícil manter ele no chão. Talvez as pessoas não entendam. Às vezes eu não me mexia muito, não atacava muito, mas eu estava controlando ele.
Because this guy have a lot. And this high level sport, bro, all details you need to make count.
É esporte de alto nível, todos os detalhes importam. Acho que ganhei todos os rounds. O quarto round eu nem sei como ele escapou da finalização. Eu senti que ele ia bater.
Fight for the title, you know, and like I said before, he's ready to take my belt. But
ele estava pronto para tirar meu cinturão.
And I think 50-45 is a good score.
Mas acho que 50-45 é um bom resultado.
Kind of frustrated that he just wouldn't go away.
Sorry?
Given how you said how tough he was tonight, was there any part of you that was just frustrated that he wouldn't go away?
Se ele ficou frustrado de não ter conseguido a interrupção, né?
Fighter, you know, everybody need to respect this high level game, you know, especially in this division, you know, these guys are crazy cardio.
Nessa divisão, especialmente, os caras têm cardio de maluco, tem um gás absurdo. É um ritmo muito insano o tempo inteiro. Eu preciso assistir a luta de novo. Mas fiquei muito feliz com a minha performance. Ele vinha de 3 vitórias, 2 no primeiro round.
Bro, how I can say, you know,
o que eu posso dizer?
Rival, I do my best.
Todo respeito a ele, eu fiz meu melhor.
Maybe if I go more pace, I can finish him, but he deserves my respect, you know.
Talvez se eu mantivesse mais o ritmo, eu conseguiria interromper ele, mas ele merece meu respeito.
How was it for you being able to defend your title here in the very same venue where you won your title?
That's the new Coliseo, bro. I don't know if that's the idea to T-Mobile Arena the first time, but all the time I look this arena, the outside, that remind me of the Coliseo, you know. I try to go.
Essa arena me lembra o Coliseu.
That's my goal. Go to Coliseo, maybe take some sand about that.
Meu objetivo é ir ao Coliseu.
You know,
Me sentir um gladiador.
All time you're gonna see me in the octagons for kill or die, you know. And I try to.
Toda vez que você me vê no octógono vai ser para matar ou morrer.
Today, like say, Brandon Rival is very tough opponent, very respect for him. I know he come back. He's gonna come back much better, but just very grateful to everything UFC give to me.
Congratulations.
Alexandre, just one real fast. There's a great history of champions in Brazil. When you were coming up, was there a specific champion that you looked up to and you want to have a similar run as a champion?
Yeah, like you say, very good champion from Brazil. You know Anderson Silva.
Tem muitos grandes campeões no Brasil, Anderson Silva.
And I think Brazil need to talk more about José Aldo too, you know.
Acho que o Brasil precisa falar mais de José Aldo também. Um dos maiores da história do esporte.
I'm glad to train with José Aldo for a couple of times in União.
Fui feliz de treinar com o José Aldo várias vezes na Nova União.
Bro, I go to a lot of gyms, you know, and I can train with a lot of champions.
Fui para muitas academias e pude treinar com muitos campeões.
Machida, all my respect to the Dragon.
Pude treinar com o Lyoto Machida.
All these champions, you know, Brazil is a very good place, brother.
Brasil é um país muito bom, é um lugar muito bom.
Warriors, you know.
Um país que fabrica campeões e guerreiros, fabrica guerreiros.
Scrambling in this fight with you tonight. That was an area that you took advantage of in your first fight. Do you feel that he was much better in that position tonight when you faced off?
I think Breno Royval, maybe he tried to go to the grappling in the first time, you know.
Breno Royval na primeira vez tentou ir para a luta agarrada.
Strike and used his stance to catch me.
Dessa vez ele tentou ir para a trocação e usar a postura e a distância para me pegar.
And my coach Parrumpa say, if you can't finish the fight,
meu treinador Parrumpa
rounds, you know, that's very important.
Falou que se eu não conseguir a interrupção é para eu ganhar os rounds. E foi isso que eu fiz.
I'm very close. Like I say,
cheguei muito perto.
Times. I tried to finish.
Ele sentiu minhas mãos algumas vezes.
But people need to understand it's not just about me. You have a very good fight.
As pessoas precisam entender que não é só sobre mim. Tem outro adversário muito forte do outro lado. Então todo respeito a Breno Royval.
I keep learning. I keep climbing the mountain.
Eu continuo aprendendo e continuo escalando a montanha.
4 or 5 years tonight, this fight was a fight that didn't have Davison Figueiredo or Brandon Moreno in it. So, like looking at fresh opponents in the division, Mohamed Mohayev is facing Alex Perez.
Falando de adversários inéditos, né, Mokaev?
Would that be a fight you would be interested in?
Of course, like say, I want to call the names, you know. I love my division.
Eu quero desafiar todo mundo. Eu amo minha divisão. Toda vez que você vê peso mosca lutando, são lutas que entretêm muito.
Mokaev
é uma luta muito interessante. Alex Perez, Manel Cap, Kai Kara France, todos esses caras.
All these guys, you know, who's the champion right now, you know, and how tough I am.
Todos esses caras e quem é o campeão agora, né?
Thank you guys. Happy holidays.
E fechamos assim a coletiva de imprensa do Pantoja. Acho que o grande destaque é o desejo do Pantoja de lutar no Brasil, né? Ele falou que seria ótimo um card com Alex Poitin capitaneando e ele de co-principal. De repente a Mayra Chitara, se conquistar o cinturão em janeiro, poderia participar também. De repente um card de 3 campeões brasileiros lutando no Brasil. Vale lembrar que rumores apontam para o UFC 301 em maio no Brasil, mais precisamente no Rio de Janeiro. Então seria um cenário perfeito, né? A gente está em dezembro, até maio tem aí 5 meses pela frente. Dá para o Pantoja se recuperar dessa guerra, dá para o Poitin entrar em ação também, dá para a Chitara de repente conquistar o cinturão e ter tempo para se recuperar também para um evento. Dá para fazer um bem bolado aí, fazer um grande evento nesse suposto UFC 301 que rumores apontam para o Rio de Janeiro, e o Pantoja tem que ser presença obrigatória, né? É do Rio de Janeiro, de Arraial do Cabo, nunca lutou no Brasil pelo UFC, então já manifestou esse desejo, então não tem nada que impeça. Acho que a próxima luta do Pantoja teria que ser no Brasil. Vamos ver se confirmam esse card para o UFC 301 para maio, seria perfeito. Acho que está todo mundo aí no chat de acordo, né? McLovin destacando também o inglês excelente, né? Muito bom, né, cara? Você vê o Pantoja desenrolando no inglês perfeitamente e me ajuda também, porque é aquele inglês abrasileirado, né? Com aquele sotaquezinho bom, que é fácil de traduzir. Não é igual o Perry Pimblett, por exemplo. E vem chegando... Ah, não. Cara, esse era o meu pior pesadelo. O Colby Covington aparecendo.
Vamos lá. After a little while now, how do you rate your own performance and what was your feelings on the fight?
I would rate my performance a 5 out of 10. I could sit here all day and make excuses. You know, I could have zigged when I should have zagged. I could have You know, it was a timing thing because I was off, you know, but that's not the
Podia ser uma questão de tempo, eu não quero dar desculpas.
I'm not gonna make excuses. There's a reason the front window is bigger than the rear view, so you know, it's in the past now. I'm not going to worry about
Existe
the past. I'm gonna focus on what's next, you know?
motivo
So, as a
pelo
guy who's
qual
been talking a
o
lot
vidro
of
da frente
shit
é
to me
maior
in
do
the
que de
media, you know,
trás.
Stephen Wonderboy
Foco
Thompson,
agora no
you know,
futuro e
but
deixar o que passou
this
para trás.
guy, he's had a lot to say about me, so I'd love to see him say that to me in the cage, in the octagon.
What exactly has he been saying about you?
Oh, he was just saying some stuff before the fight. Oh, he's gonna get his job broke. Oh, this and that. You know, he's always talking shit, throwing shade. So I'd love to see him say it to my face. You know, he's always got things to say to you guys in the media, but I've never seen him come up to me face to face. You know, we were backstage of the press
Como
conference.
estão
He never said
desafiando
that all
alguém
the
a
time.
falar
So
alguma coisa
yeah,
na
he
cara
always has
dele, eu
things to
confesso
say.
que
I'm
eu
a man of my
perdi.
word.
Se alguém aí no
You know, I
chat
say
tiver
things to
pego,
people when I look them right in the eye and say, let's do it. You know, let's go in the octagon. So, you know, I'd love to see
que ele
him,
fala tudo na
you know,
cara e
sometime
alguém
next
falou
year,
dele
and,
pelas
you know,
costas.
we've been at the top of the division for the longest. You know, we're two guys that have never fought, that have been at the top of the division for years. So, you know, I think that's the fight that makes the most logical sense next.
I know you say you don't want to make excuses, but bear in mind the inactivity that you've had to have over the last couple of years. Would you like to get back in there as soon as possible and try and compete more regularly to maybe help with those timing issues you mentioned?
Of course, you know, I want to be an active fighter. You know, I want to be a company man. I want to be a guy
Quer
that,
ser lutador
you know, comes out
ativo.
here and puts on
Ah,
performances and
pesquei
goes to
aqui.
the
Ele,
UFC, makes them money
o
as
Covid não
regularly
estava
as
falando
possible.
sobre
You know,
o
I don't want to
Stephen
get getting
Thompson.
sucker punched in
Falou
the
que tem
streets
coisas a
and more
resolver com o
names in the
Stephen
streets than I
Thompson,
ever
que
took in the
ele,
octagon. So, you know,
que ele
I'm gonna
falou
get my
muita
value
besteira
back, and
dele,
I
mas
will.
não
You know,
fala
I'll go
na
back
cara,
to
não
work.
tem
I know
coragem de falar no
what I need to
octógono.
work on.
Falou
You
que a
know, I
próxima luta
did.
ideal para
I
ele é
felt
contra o
back a
Stephen
lot in that
Thompson.
fight. So I
Colby
didn't feel like I
Covington e
was in a
Stephen
fight. You
Thompson.
know,
O
it
que
feels
vocês
like I
acham?
just was in fucking a practice round. So, you know, I'm a lot better than that, and you know, I'm still 35 years young, and my best is yet to come.
Did Leon do anything
Falou
in
que
there that
ainda tem
surprised you? Did his
35
wrestling
anos e que
surprise you?
o
Managed
auge
to
dele
down a
ainda
couple
está
of times
por
and
vir.
vice versa, but did he
Colby
surprise
Covington.
you at all?
No, he didn't surprise me at all. You know, I thought I had rounds 3, 4,
Que o
and
Leon
5.
Edwards não
Started out a little slow in the first
surpreendeu
2
ele, que ele
rounds.
acha que ganhou o terceiro, quarto e
Those
quinto.
rounds still felt like toss-up rounds, but you know, he's the champion, so I know I had to go out
Ele
there
é
and take it
campeão.
from him. But you know, I'm
Eu
very
tinha que chegar
grateful
lá e tirar dele.
for bringing out Donald Trump tonight, the most famous person on the planet. You know, he's done
Mas
so
eu
much
trouxe
for my
Donald Trump, a
career.
pessoa mais
I'm thankful
famosa
for the
do
man
mundo
he
inteiro.
is, you know, and I'm thankful for what's to come. You know, I'm going to be on the campaign trail with him. I want to help him get reelected. You know, I want to make sure that there's no more rigged elections here in America, and you know, we need to stop these wars. You know, that's the biggest thing. Look at all the wars going on. He kept peace in the Middle East. There was no war that he led us into.
Ah,
So
babando,
he
tá
kept the
babando,
border safe. He kept
tá babando o Donald Trump.
now, you guys can all hate him, but look at what he did for all your guys' bank accounts. Like, your bank
O que ele
accounts are so
fez
much
pela
better
conta
under him.
bancária de
Gas was
vocês,
$2 a
o que ele
gallon.
fez no Oriente
You go to
Médio.
the grocery store, and it's, you know, 300% uprise with Biden in
Toda
office.
certo.
So, you know, Trump
Desabafo
continues to
aqui,
do this
10
country.
para
You
as
know, I'm
5 da
looking
manhã
forward
e
to
a
seeing
gente
what
está
his
tendo
next
que ouvir o
move is
Colby
and get him
Covington
elected in 2024.
babar ovo do Donald
Last one
Trump.
from me, and I feel like I know what your answer will
Vivo
be on
ou
this,
MMA?
but you know, Leon mentioned in the cage how your comments at the press conference
Agora
really sort
falando
of
de
emotionally
luta.
hurt him, and he struggled with that, and the death of his father still weighs on him heavy. Do you maybe regret those comments and think, actually, okay, that was one time I
Se
maybe
ele
did
se
go a little bit too
arrepende
far?
dos comentários sobre
Not at all. Why would I
Não me
have
arrependo.
sympathy for a sex trafficker, someone who's impacted
Jamais terei
and hurt a
simpatia
lot
por
of people's lives?
ex-traficantes.
You know, the truth always
Ele
comes the
arruinou
worst in
vidas
the
de outras
world. So,
pessoas.
you know, no, I don't feel bad about that at all. Let's talk about
Não,
all
eu
the
não me
people
sinto
that
mal
he
por
left
isso nem
behind
um pouco.
that are surviving of the trauma and the turmoil that he put these people's lives through. So,
O
I don't feel bad
trauma
at
e
all.
o drama que ele causou na vida de outras pessoas.
Colby, right here.
Eu não me
You've
arrependo.
kind
da
of put
que eu
yourself in a position where people want to see you fight, whether there's a title on the line or not. You versus Jorge is one of those random non-title fights that headlined a pay-per-view, but that was like a heated rivalry that sold. Is Wonderboy a big enough name or a big enough dance partner that you two could headline a pay-per-view,
Se
or
o
is
Stephen
that
Thompson é
you
o
view him as like, oh,
parceiro
this is a
ideal para
fighter
fazer
who's
uma luta
headlining?
principal de um UFC numerado.
You know, I don't make those decisions. Those are way above my pay grade.
Eu não
That's up
tomo
to
essas
Hunter,
decisões, é
Dana
muito
White,
acima do meu
or Emmanuel, whatever they see fit is best
poder.
for the business. You know, I'm a company man. I want to do the biggest.
O que eles
and best
acharem que é melhor para o negócio, eu sou um cara da, eu sou um cara da companhia, um cara da
at the
organização.
top of the division for years, and we've never crossed paths. And he's had a lot of things to say about me. Oh, Colby's
Ele
this. Oh,
teve
Colby's
muitas
that.
coisas para
So,
falar sobre
you
mim.
know, I'd like to see him say say those things to my face.
Eu gostaria de vê-lo falar isso
You also
dentro.
had a lot of things to say about Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland obviously said a lot of things about you at the
Falando
press
sobre Sean
conference the
Strickland
day he was in attendance. I'm curious if, say, he doesn't come out on top against Strickland, is that a fight you would be entertained at all, just considering the history of words between you two?
Of course, you know, he's been running his mouth, and You know, nothing.
Com
he's saying
certeza ele tem
makes
falado
sense. Oh,
muito
Kobe
do
goes to
Sean
the cops.
Strickland.
Bro, you called the cops just a couple weeks ago, dude, when there was someone at your front door.
Falando que eu chamei a polícia para mais Vidal. Irmão, você chamou a polícia quando o cara foi para a porta da sua casa.
Justice system first before he even talks about fighting. That guy's a train wreck, dude. That guy's for sure going to do something stupid in the next couple of years, and we're all going to be talking.
Esse cara vai fazer algo maluco nos próximos anos.
Bad decisions he makes. So
ele é um trem descarrilhado.
You know, there's a reason he couldn't cut it at 170.
Precisa calar a boca.
Division in the UFC, everybody knows that. Most people on
meio médio é a divisão mais difícil do UFC, por isso que ele fugiu dos meio médios. Se o Sean quiser lutar, vamos lutar.
Going off of what you said a little bit ago, did you hear that he had to be escorted out of the arena because he jumped at Dricus?
I did not hear that, but I'm not surprised.
Eu não ouvi falar que ele brigou com o Duplessis, mas não me surpreende, ele não é um cara que toma boas decisões.
It's sad what he's done, you know. I feel bad.
É triste tudo que ele faz. É triste ter que lidar com ele como campeão, porque a gente nunca sabe o que ele vai falar. É um sujo falando do mal lavado.
What are you doing, man? Like, you're gonna get your opportunity to do whatever you want to him, but you know, Dricus is class act, and you know, I got a lot of respect for him. I hope he knocks.
Dricus é um grande cara, eu tenho muito respeito.
In front of you. Looking at your expression when the decision was read, you seemed a bit surprised. At that moment in time, did you think that you had done enough?
I did. You know, I thought the third, fourth, and fifth round were mine. The fifth was mine easily. Fourth, I thought was mine as well too. And you know, I thought I did enough in the third. You know, he didn't put any damage on me. He got a couple of low kicks, but then I started checking him at the end. So, you know, I thought I had the win. I thought I did enough. But you know, the judges have never favored me. They hate me because I support Trump, and you know, everybody hates Trump in this building. So,
porque eu apoio Trump, todo mundo odeia o Trump.
Did you talk to him at all after the fight?
No, I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I'll probably.
Eu ainda não tive a chance de falar com o Trump depois da luta.
Just thank him, you know, just thank him so much for coming out.
Só queria agradecê-lo.
All the support he gives to me and shows me, you know, he gives me
todo o apoio que ele dá.
Every time I talk to him, he uplifts me. It makes me want to be greater.
Toda vez que eu falo com ele, ele me faz me sentir melhor.
You know, being a small kid from, you know, Springfield, Oregon, a nobody. You know, I came from a blue collar family, and you know, I had nothing, and you know, now I
Eu
have
vim de uma família pobre, não tinha nada.
I have the most famous person in the world on speed dial that I can call at any time and get advice from. So, you know, I just feel upset that I didn't stick to the game plan that he had told me, and you know.
Fiquei chateado por não ter seguido a estratégia que ele me passou. Donald Trump é técnico.
I'll see Leon again down the road.
And you know, you did have the chance, it seemed like in the cage afterwards, to talk to or yell at back and forth with Leon's corner. I guess what were you guys saying to one another back and forth there?
You know, he was just saying headshot that. I'm like, bro, you don't even have guns in the UK. What are you fucking talking about, dude?
Eles estavam falando que iam atirar na minha cabeça. Irmão, vocês nem têm arma na Inglaterra. O que vocês estão falando?
Rights in America, so the guy is just blah 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 blah. You know, he's got nothing fucking to say. You know, like just the guy's fucking fake news. Everything he says that comes out of his mouth is just a fucking joke. So,
tudo que ele fala é mentira. Tudo que ele fala é piada.
I was just kind of laughing and just saying, dude, what are you fucking talking about, dude? You're fucking nobody. You never fought in a cage. You never been in the UFC octagon. What have you accomplished?
Vocês estão falando? Vocês nunca lutaram no.
Makes you think you can talk about one of the all-time greats of the welterweight division.
Kobe over here. What was that game plan Donald Trump had formulated for you?
Yeah, he said, look, let's get on him. Let's get on him early. Let's put that cardio on him. You can take this guy down at will, you know, and
falando dos conselhos que o Trump deu para ele, vamos botar esse cardio em jogo, você consegue botar ele para baixo.
You know, Leon was switching a lot to orthodox. I didn't expect that as much as he
Leon trocou muito de base, eu não esperava isso.
And so I was preparing to take him down on that right leg, and he kept.
Eu estava preparado para derrubá-lo na perna direita, mas ele mudou de.
You know, it was more just the timing issue, and you know, I still thought I did enough, but you know, God bless Donald Trump for fucking everything he's done for this country. He's the greatest American, the greatest president in history.
And I know you just showed your adamance towards fighting Wonderboy Thompson next, but there's another welterweight out that fought tonight, Shavkat Rakhmonov. If the UFC decided to go down that road, is welcome fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov next.
You know, it doesn't really make sense. You know, I think
não faz sentido.
Wonderboy has a bigger name. It's a bigger fight for the division, bigger business for the UFC. I'm the company, man. You know, whatever the UFC wants. You know, I fought.
Eu sou um cara da companhia. Tudo que o UFC quiser, eu vou fazer.
In the world, that's him, and I feel like I wasn't even in a fight with him. So, you know, it just shows how good I am and what I'm capable of. So. Anybody the UFC wants to do, you know, but you know, I'm looking towards Wonderboy. He said some things, and I have my bad taste.
O que o UFC quiser, mas eu tô de olho no Wonderboy.
Fair enough. And Sean O'Malley and Cheeto Vera are headlining the Miami card in March. Dana just announced a couple fights for that card. Would you be welcome to being added to that card, given obviously it's in Miami?
You know, of course I'd love to fight in Miami, you know.
Adoraria lutar em Miami.
305 is
É minha
giving me
casa.
everything, you know. I'm the king of Miami, so.
Sou o
you
rei de
know,
Miami.
I'll go back to the drawing board, see what Dana.
Vamos voltar ao quadro negro e
You know,
ver
I'm
o
a
que a
company
gente
man.
tem
I'll
para
show up anytime, anywhere, anyone. So
Eu
it's a
vou
possibility.
lutar em qualquer
but,
lugar, qualquer
see,
hora, contra
you know,
qualquer
to
um.
make sure I'm healthy with my feet, and I'll talk to the UFC after that.
Thank you.
Colby, down here to your right.
Vou falar com a minha equipe e
In the
depois
build up
falar.
to this fight, you said there wasn't anything that Leon Edwards had done during his reign that had impressed you. Has that changed now that you've shared the octagon with him?
No, nothing impressed
Não,
me.
nada que o Leon Edwards fez
Top
enquanto
fight.
campeão me impressionou.
What did he do that separated himself from me? How did he show that he was like this level above me? He didn't show that.
Como ele
He didn't
mostrou
knock
que ele
me
está
out,
um
he didn't
nível
wobble
acima
me,
de
he
mim?
didn't
Acho que ele
fucking
não mostrou.
win every round decisively. You know, it was a competitive fight. Could have went
Acho que ele
either
não
way.
ganhou todo o round de
What
forma
judges are saying
decisiva, foi uma luta
that night. You know how
competitiva.
the judges are, so. No,
Sabe como os
nothing
juízes são?
impressed me. And the guy's boring, man.
Nada me
He's
impressionou.
mumbling and drooling most of the time when he's talking. Like the guy is not likable. He has no redeeming qualities. So, you know, I feel bad that the UFC has to deal with him, you know, in business and,
Eu
as their
fico
champion.
triste que o UFC tenha que lidar com ele
Pathetic
como campeão.
excuse of a champion.
And this is the third time you've come up short in the undisputed title fights.
É a terceira vez que você
Which one
perde uma
hurts
disputa
the
de
most?
cinturão.
Is it this one or maybe the first one to Kamara?
Qual que doeu mais?
Yeah, that's tough. You know, they all hurt
É
the same.
difícil.
They all sting. You know,
Todas
I feel like I
doeram
was right there.
da mesma
I had
forma.
what it took to win, but I just
Eu
you
sinto
know,
que eu
took my
tinha o que
foot off the
precisava
gas
para
pedal and
ganhar.
didn't put it down as hard and believe in myself like I know I'm capable of doing. So
Mas eu acredito em mim mesmo, eu sei do que eu sou capaz.
I don't know. They all sting. You know, they don't feel
Não
good.
sei
You
qual
know,
que doeu mais. Todas
they're
foram,
all fucking. They all suck. But you know, I got a great support system.
todas
I
foram
got my
horríveis.
coaches, Daniel Valverde, Cesar
Mas
Carnell,
tem meus
amazing coaches. I got my
treinadores,
friends, Michael Wall, done so
meus
much for me.
amigos.
Michael Lehman's done an incredible job for me. You know, I got some great people in my corner. They're gonna lift me back
Tenho
up
ótimas
and
pessoas
make
no
sure
meu
that I come
corpo
back from this stronger.
que vão
And, you know,
garantir
this
que eu
is just a
volte ainda
lesson
mais
learned,
forte.
another lesson in life, man. That's what life's
Mais
all
uma
about. Learning
lição
lessons and coming back better from them.
na vida.
Thank you.
Colby here. You didn't try to take Leon down until round 3. Was that the original plan, or did you think you left it a little bit too late to implement that game plan?
He was switching a lot to orthodox, so I kind of got a little confused.
Ele mudou muito de base, de canhoto para destro, então eu tive dificuldade de entrar em
Dominant side,
queda.
he's a southpaw. He was doing that intentionally. I feel like he was
Ele
setting
é
up like
canhoto,
a
fez
kick
isso
on
de
that side.
propósito.
So, yeah, I wasn't ready for him to be in the orthodox as much as he was, but
Eu não estava pronto para ele lutar de destro, tanto que ele
yeah,
lutou.
I didn't pull the trigger, you know. Just
Eu não puxei,
no
eu
excuses,
não
man.
apertei o
It
gatilho.
is what it is. It's
Não
a
tenho
matter of year
desculpa, as
now,
coisas são como
now,
são.
and I'm gonna come back from it better.
People
Quero
don't
voltar
remember
ainda melhor.
Colby the person and Colby the character. Is that even a thing in your eyes?
No, not at all. There is no character.
Não
I'm a
existe
guy that just
personagem.
turns it up to 11. I don't care what people think of me, man. You can hate
Eu
me, you can
não
love
ligo
me,
porque as
you can
pessoas
be
pensam em
indifferent.
mim.
It makes no difference, you know. I'm just
Não faz
I'm here to do
diferença.
the biggest and best business for this company. I love this company. You know, I just
Não,
signed a new
mas a
contract with them, so I'm not going
organização
anywhere anytime soon. I'm going to be around
não
for
vou a
many
lugar
years to
nenhum.
come.
Não
So,
sei.
you know, the best is yet to come for me. I truly believe that, and I'm going to create a lot more special moments in this company, and I'm going to keep making history. That's what I've done since the
Vou criar
beginning.
muitos momentos especiais
My
nessa
legacy is
organização e vou continuar fazendo história.
Last one for me. Are you going to try to dispute the decision tonight, like Donald Trump tried to dispute the election in 2020?
Perguntaram se ele vai tentar acabar com a desfazer a decisão dos juízes, assim como Donald Trump tentou desfazer as eleições.
This fake
Ela
fucking
vai.
COVID. You guys are all doing triple vaccines. You know, you got Travis Kelce out
Tá
there,
falando
Mr.
monte aí,
Pfizer,
Donald
saying,
Trump.
"Oh, get 2 vaccines at the same time." You get 2. Okay, I'm not. Even if you're pro-vaccine or not pro-vaccine, if you're getting 2 vaccines at the same time, then you're not going to know which one's going to give you the ill effect. Like, how are you going to know? So, you know, it's a complete scam what's going on in this country. The fact that you guys aren't smart enough to realize that, and that the government and the establishment is treating you all like puppets.
Teorias da
it's
conspiração.
embarrassing, man. So obviously that was a rigged election. There's so much fucking voter fraud, mail-in
Foi uma eleição
ballot fraud.
fraudada.
You know, tonight was another case of that. Just some bad judges.
Colby, just down to your right. I know it might not matter right now, but in your pre-fight face-off with Leon on Friday evening, a lot of people were wondering whether you said I was in character or thought it was a character. Can you just sort of clear up what it was?
Yeah, I never said that. I said, no, I said, you thought I was a character. I'm not a character, man. I'm just.
Eu falei que ele
whatever I want, whenever I
achava que eu
want.
era
That's what
personagem, eu não
bosses
sou um
do, you know?
personagem.
So I just let him know. I thought, because he
Eu
kept saying,
mantenho tudo que eu
in the
falo.
lead up, oh, everything's a character that goes. But I said, yeah, it was a character. Yeah.
Falam
tell me
que
now it's a
tudo,
character.
tudo que eu
I'm
faço é um
playing character, man. I'm
personagem.
just
Eu
myself.
só
I don't
falei,
give a fuck what
aqui o
people think of me. Why
personagem.
would I care what you guys think about me? All my haters in the world are not doing better than me. I'm up here headlining events, fucking selling
Todos os meus
pay-per-views,
haters
fucking
não
getting the
estão
most
saindo
famous
melhor
person
do
on
que
planet
eu.
Earth to
Eu
come
tô
support me. So why would I give a fuck
capitaneando
about
um
what
evento
any of you
superado
say
do
or think
UFC.
of me?
Eu não
The
ligo
lot's
porque
been
eu
made
estou
about you don't
pensando.
really cut much weight to make 170. Any chance of a move down in weight class, or are you not really thinking about that?
You know, I don't want to be a weight bully. You know, that's everything.
Eu
I
não quero
stand
ser
against.
bully
I'm
do
trying to
peso,
be the
eu
new
não quero
generation
cortar
of
muito
fighter
peso.
that just fights at
Lutar contra
natural
caras
weight. You know, I don't
menores.
want to cut weight. You know,
Eu
I
luto
just
no
want
meu
to
peso
feel good
natural.
when I fight and
Eu
you know,
me
not
sinto
have
bem
to get that
quando
big
eu
advantage. I
luto.
feel like cutting that type of weight is legal cheating. So I don't want to be a
Cortar
cheater.
esse
I've never
peso
been a cheater.
todo
Never done a step.
é trapaça
Never cheated when I'm
legalizada.
not gonna fight fairly and I do everything by the book. So. You know, it's
O que eu
not
quero
something I'm
fazer é
interested
seguir as
in. You know, I want
regras.
to fight everybody at my weight at 170 and
Quero
prove
lutar
I'm the
todo
best in the
mundo
world
no meu
and
peso.
come back stronger from this. If
Provar que
DC
eu sou o melhor
can
do
be
mundo,
fighting
vou
and
lutar
winning
mais
world titles
forte.
at 41, there's no reason I can. That's still 6 years away from me. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. It doesn't matter how much you guys
Eu
hate
ainda
me.
posso lutar até os
To
40.
ask, you talked about
Vou
the haters that you
alguém
have,
perguntar.
but you got cheered. You got a big pop when you came out. But towards the end of the night, after the decision, you got booed. Do you feel like you let your fans down tonight?
No,
Sobre
I
as
feel like I
vibes.
did. I feel like, you know, I came and put on a
Não
show for
sinto que eu
them, you know, all
decepcionei meus
week. You know,
fãs.
I entertained them in and outside the
Dei um show a
octagon. That's
semana
all,
inteira.
all about giving them their money's worth.
Entretive
You know, they
eles,
pay their hard-earned
eles a
dollars
semana
to
inteira.
come to these events and they want to be entertained. They want to be distracted
Eles
from
querem
whatever's
ser
going on inside their
entretidos.
life. So, you know, I feel like, you know, it's upsetting that I didn't bring them the title that they know that we're
Acho que é,
capable of, but
fico chateado de não ter conquistado o
we come
cinturão,
back
mas
stronger from it. And still have a great support system, you know, great
vou
sponsors. You know,
voltar
shout out
muito
to
forte.
my
Tenho um
bookie,
grande apoio por trás de mim.
shout out to Happy Dad. They've done so much for me. Kyle Forgard has helped me train and
Vou
get
dar
my
salve aí pra
conditioning to another level. So we're just going to go back to the drawing board, keep training, and come back stronger from this.
voltar ao quadro negro, voltar a
Right down the
treinar,
middle.
esperar o
In
próximo.
your opinion, who has the best shot at beating Leon, Shavkat or Bilal?
Probably shit rat, you know, just because we saw the first fight with Bailey, the racist, you know, and who wants to put a racist in a main
Falando
event
que
title fight? I mean,
Shavkat
they
Rakhmonov
already did that
deve
fight
ser o
before
próximo
and nobody
desafiante,
watched
porque
it.
eles
That
viram
was
a primeira
during
luta
COVID
do
when
Edwards
nobody
com o
had
Belal,
anything else
o
to do.
racista
So how you
Belal.
gonna sell that as a pay-per-view? That's not a pay-per-view worthy main event.
Como que vocês
Put
podem
shit rat
vender
up there.
isso
Let's
no
see if he's
pay-per-view?
as good as all the hype says, and you know, let's see if how that goes. You know, I think that's a fight for the fans, and I think that's the
Acho que o
direction the
Rakhmonov
UFC should
e
go.
Edwards seria uma luta para os fãs. Acabou, meu Deus. Amém. Vem logo Leon Edwards. É isso, gente. Não tem muito o que comentar de coletiva de imprensa de Colby Covington, né? Deprimente, como sempre. Metade da coletiva falando do Donald Trump, outra metade fugindo do Rakhmonov, desafiando Stephen Thompson. É isso. Agora estamos dependendo aí do campeão peso meio médio do Ultimate, Leon Edwards, a qualquer momento. Para vocês, estão acordados ainda, né? Estão comigo? Já não sei mais quantas pessoas tem aqui. Fechei, deixa eu ver. Deixa eu abrir aqui. 250 pessoas com a gente. Quantas acordadas? Estou vendo aí Pio Green, Felipe Braga, Francisco, McLovin, Arthur, Igor, Nilson, Vitor. Galera interagindo aí. Guerreiros, hein? Guerreiros, agradeço demais a companhia de vocês. Sem vocês não seria nada. Solta o dedo no like, né? 5 e 10 da manhã, a gente ouvindo o Colby Covington falar. Tem que deixar o like. A gente merece, né? Like, se inscrever, ativar o sininho, tudo mais, dar o Pix, virar membro, superchat, se vocês quiserem. A Edna Freitas aí com a gente também. Estamos dependendo de Leon Edwards para encerrar o UFC 296 e encerrar o calendário de 2023 do UFC. que vocês acharam aí da coletiva do Colby, hein? A mesma coisa que eu? Já tivemos aqui na coletiva, desde que começamos, Perry Pimblett, pegamos um trechinho ali do Perry Pimblett, pegamos o Dana White com anúncios bombásticos do UFC 299, pegamos Alexandre Pantoja, claro, e Colby Covington. Gabriel Lira falando, Leon Edwards e Nick Diaz é a luta dos fãs. Leon Edwards que bateu no Nate Diaz, né? Mas com o Nick Diaz acho que não tem muito não, né? McLaren total. Cara, que papelão, Colby Covington, né, cara? E por que botaram ele para dar entrevista, né? Chega a ser desrespeitoso. Rock Balboa falando do repórter que deu uma tirada lá no Colby, né? Falar que foi fraude, igual o ídolo dele, Donald Trump. Gabriel Lira falando Paulo Costa, Paulo Borrachinha nunca mais luta. Era para ter lutado contra o Shimaev, teve aquela infecção no cotovelo. Agora tá cavando aí uma luta com o Robert Whittaker, né? Vamos ver se sai. O McLaren total concordando com o que eu falei da entrevista, né? É revoltante, cara. Acho que essa é a palavra. Felipe Braga falando que Nick Diaz está mais aposentado do que o Tony Ferguson, de fato. Francisco falando que Nick Diaz tomou um sarrafo do Leon, foi o Nate, né? Deu um calor no Leon Edwards no quinto round, mas foi dominado. Aldinei Almeida, Fernandão, o que eu acho do Umar Nurmagomedov, primo do Khabib, 16-0? Você acha que ele vai ser um problema na divisão dos galos? Acho que ele já é um problema na divisão dos galos, né? Tá com luta marcada? Confesso que não sei de cabeça, deixa eu olhar aqui. Umar Nurmagomedov, peso galo sem luta marcada. A última luta dele foi em janeiro de 2023 contra o Raoni Barcelos. É um problema, né, cara? Toda essa galera do Daguestão é um problema. A divisão peso galo é uma divisão bem profunda. Acho que ele, se eu não me engano, ele tá ali no top 15, top 14, né, do ranking. Acho que vai demorar um pouquinho ainda para ser um real problema. Chegou Leon Edwards, hein? Que seja rápido.
Leon, congratulations on your victory tonight. I know you said you would have liked to get it finished, but given everything that was surrounding this fight and all the emotions, I mean, how satisfied are you with the result tonight?
Todas as emoções, qual satisfeito você?
Best performances, you know, but
não foi uma das minhas melhores performances.
Active fight is one of the.
Queria que fosse uma luta mais ativa.
What's this guy doing? You know, after talking all that shit.
O que esse cara tá fazendo?
More and do more, you know, but I feel like he's done it before. He has to fight up and just show up and just don't show up, you know.
You think the game plan that he used was pretty surprising, whatever it may actually have been? I mean, did you think early on, is he trying to bait me into something? Like, is this some kind of game? Like, what's going on here? Or when did you realize that this is just going to be what he does?
Yeah, 100%. I came out off for the first round, you know, and
eu senti que ele estava tentando preparar uma armadilha. Eu não entendi o que ele estava fazendo.
I feel like the pressure got to him. I feel like the decision.
Sinto que a pressão pegou ele.
It all just threw him off, you know, just kind of
não sei se pela idade, pela inatividade.
Didn't come out of it, you know.
Ele simplesmente não apareceu.
As well to stay controlled, right? Because you talk about being controlled with the emotions of fight week, but then you got to go in there for 25 minutes and be controlled. Like, how challenging was it there to keep the proper mindset?
Qual desafiante foi se manter controlado?
Even to the weigh-ins yesterday, I was like fuming and shaking. But I was after speaking to my mom and my coaches and
conversei com a minha mãe, com meus treinadores.
Basically, and just focus yourself.
Focar em lutar.
Once you come out there and fight emotional and like try swing and take it down, you know. So I thought, okay, this is like.
Poderia entrar aqui.
What you said is fucked up.
Levado pelo emocional.
Go out and do your job, you know.
The grappling exchange, a lot of your takedowns seem to come right after his. Did you come into this fight saying, I want to show that I can grapple, or was it kind of responsive to be like, now I got to take him down?
No, it was definitely a plan, you know. I'm a great
grappler.
I just like striking, you know. But,
misturar a luta.
I also took him down, never taken down before in his career. took Kobe down, out-grappled him. So I feel like
Derrubei Kamaru Usman, que nunca
as
tinha
I'm
sido
learning and
derrubado.
growing, I was
Derrubei
keep
por
showing
Kobe.
more and more of my skill set.
Conforme eu for
I hope that
avançando, eu vou
I'm
mostrar
mixed
cada
martial
vez
artist,
mais
I'm not a striker,
as minhas
you know.
habilidades.
Tonight, I was able to do that. I out-grappled
Essa
two of
noite
the
eu
best
consegui
grapplers
fazer
in the
pouco disso.
division, you know, and yeah, as long
Enfrentei os melhores wrestlers da
keep
divisão.
improving, you know.
There's been a lot
E
of
acho
talk
que
about the
muito
exchange
evoluir.
between you guys. I mean, obviously, this is the fight game and people fight, but do you feel like there should be some kind of a limit, like an honor among
Você
athletes?
sente que deveria
Like,
ter
hey,
algum
man,
limite?
there's
Né?
certain things that are just off limits that we don't touch with each other.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I feel like
100%.
kids are out of it. I feel like a murdered parent should definitely be out of it. It's just like I
Sinto que
don't get how
crianças
you
devem
use
ficar
that
fora,
as
sinto
a
que
way to sell fights or
pais
entertainment,
falecidos
you know,
devem
and,
ficar fora.
I think that's like put him in the shower. I think my reaction to it kind of like threw him off a bit. I felt
Acho que minha reação
what you're saying, you know, like the
meio que
fans
assustou
turned
ele.
against him and the media was like, what are you doing? I feel like, but he's a coward and
Os
he's also
fãs
a coward.
reagiram, tipo, o que você tá
He
fazendo?
lost the fight. He keep making excuses that I won the fight. Even it wasn't knocked him out and broke his jaw. He's like, yeah, it was Mark's fault. It's always someone else's fault.
Ele sempre tem uma desculpa, mesmo quando ele quebrou o maxilar, ele tem uma desculpa falando que foi culpa do árbitro, então ele perdeu mais uma vez.
Played off because of the emotion that was surrounding this fight.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. I feel like it was definitely one of the most emotional fights. So,
Foi a luta mais emotiva da minha carreira.
But like I said, I got a great support system.
Mas eu
around
tive
me,
muito apoio.
got me in the right space to go out there and compete as an athlete, you know, because in my mind and my body, I wanted to go out there and have a war with him. And but when
Na minha cabeça, meu corpo queria entrar numa guerra com ele.
25 minutes, and after that you can deal
Mas eu consegui lutar bem por 25 minutos.
Dana was here earlier. It kind of seemed like Bilal Muhammad would be next, being that he's the backup and all that. But Dana said, I'm not ready to make that decision right now. Yeah. Do you see it as like he should be next? Does that feel like an unfinished chapter, or do you feel like maybe there's
Bilal Muhammad.
There definitely other options, you know. I don't feel like
Tem muitas opções.
Should be next. You know, I've done it before. I've run like 10 fights in a row, didn't get a title shot. So what makes him different?
Não sei se ele deveria ser o próximo. Eu também já tive nessa posição de ficar esperando.
So let's see who's next and
Vamos ver quem é o próximo.
But like I said, this is Rocky's era. This is my era now, and I'll keep reigning.
Mas como eu disse, é a era do Rock. Agora é minha era.
All similar styles anyway, all boxers, wrestlers, and this is what I'll build my career on it, you know. So whoever comes next is whatever, you know.
Nice. Last thing for me.
Não importa quem é o próximo.
Is where does that matter to you? Do you want to fight back in England, or do you like fighting here in the States, Vegas?
I love fighting in England, especially now we got Tom. You know, like that me and Tom on the card, headlining, co-headlining.
Eu quero lutar na Inglaterra, principalmente agora que Tom Aspinall, um pode fazer a luta principal, o outro como principal. Quero trazer mais luz ao MMA na Europa. Quero fazer uma luta na Inglaterra num grande
Going
estádio.
off of that, Dana was here and announced the official signing of Michael Venom Page to the UFC.
Anúncio da contratação do Michael Page, mais um britânico.
Would that be a fight down the road that that could headline
É uma
a
luta que
massive
te
stadium,
interessa?
big arena in the UK?
Na Inglaterra, numa grande arena.
I don't know. He just got to the
Não
UFC.
sei.
I don't think he's nowhere near a title shot. Yeah, I don't know. That's like
Ele acabou de chegar no
there's
UFC.
way more people that
Tem muitas outras pessoas na fila antes dele.
But yeah, fair play.
Did you see happen to see Shafkat's performance? Because he seems to be the other one that
Você viu a luta do
want to see
Shafkat?
you fight at some point.
Yeah, I did. He looked alright, you know.
Ele foi bem?
Wonder Boy is kind of getting past it a little bit. He's like 41.
Acho que o
40 years old,
Boy
and,
tá diminuindo, tá ficando um pouco para trás.
Yeah, if he's whoever's next, I don't care, you know. So like I said, this is my
Não,
era.
não importa quem é o próximo, se for
My aim
Belal,
now
se
is
for
to beat George record. That is my aim.
Minha meta é bater o
So
recorde
whatever
de Johnson.
get me there is whoever's next, you know.
Do you because before this fight, you said that if you beat Colby, you could first see him retiring because you don't really see him fighting these young guys. But he was in here saying he's going to be here for a while and he wants to work his way back to the title. Do you think eventually you will see Colby again down the road?
No, definitely not. I don't believe so.
Não, com certeza eu não vou lutar com o Colby de novo. Esse cara
This
ficou
is his
muita
third
besteira.
shot at a title shot. This one was a given. He meant to fight for the title. He beat
Essa
Marcelo,
disputa
and
de
then got
cinturão já
title
foi
shot. Fought
dada
for
a
2
ele,
years,
ele não
got a title shot, you know. So
2
he's a
anos
long
sem
way
lutar.
away from fighting for the title. I can't see him
Ele
going
tá
out there and fighting
muito, muito
Shafkat
longe
and
de lutar pelo título.
these guys of the world, you know.
Tem outros
I
caras
can't see
na
happening,
fila.
so let's see.
He just a few minutes ago, he was here. He called out Wonder Boy for his next fight. He said he has unfinished business with him. What do you think of that fight possibly down the road between Colby and Wonder
Falando sobre
Boy?
a luta de Colby e
I don't
Svendov.
know. I don't care. You know,
Não sei, eu não ligo.
I don't know.
Leon, I gotta ask you: were you surprised at how much stronger you were than him in the cage?
Nah, definitely not. I always said like once to feel my physicality.
Não fiquei
in the-
surpreso por ser muito mais
in the
forte que
cage,
ele.
it's a big
Eu
difference.
queria
You know, I think
sentir
Usman
minha
felt it as well,
fisicalidade.
and maybe I got like a skinny waist. Everyone thinks I'm like not strong, but once I get a hold of you, I'm quite strong, you know, and I
Eu
was
sou
able
muito
to
forte.
take him down, out-grapple him in scenarios.
Eu
and,
sabia que eu conseguiria derrubá-lo.
Yeah, just keep, like I said, I'm a mixed martial artist, not a striker. So
Eu
it
sou
goes to show
artista de
another
artes
level of my
marciais
game, you know?
mistas, não
And how
sou
close did you
só um
think you were with
striker.
those submissions?
Close, that especially that front one I got around his neck before
Aquele triângulo de mão eu acho que estava bem
you
perto
know,
de
and even the triangle, the arm bars, I was attacking.
Tentei
hit them
o
was
armlock
close, but
também,
he
tá
did
ligado?
well to survive and defend them, you know.
And did it
Mas
feel
ele foi
good
muito
because he
bem.
comes in, he's talking all the trash talk, but towards the end of the fight, people were booing him because they were just so unimpressed by his
Eles
performance. Did that feel
vaiaram
good to really shut him and the fans up?
Not really the fans, but more him, you know. I expected
Não-
more. Like, after
Não
talking
senti
about
muito
that,
bem
like,
pela vaia do
if you
público,
come
me senti
forward
bem
and fight,
por
you
ver
know, you don't
ele
be a
derrotado.
crowd and go on your back foot for the first 2 rounds. I thought he was like trying to bait me in or something.
Os primeiros 2
What's this guy
rounds
doing?
ele se acovardou e
I think
eu fiquei pensando,
range
o
and
que esse
my
cara tá fazendo?
switching the stances was kind of throwing him off.
Minha troca de base
I think
estava
he's a coward
confundindo
and
ele.
he showed in his fighting skills, you know.
Ele é um covarde e não
Similar to what you
conseguiu
just said, were you surprised that Colby didn't shoot until the 3rd round?
But even when he shot in the 3rd round, it's like a slow ass single leg, you know, like bro.
Mesmo quando ele tentou entrar em queda, foi um single leg.
Chaos machine and but yeah, I feel like I said, it's a new era. I feel like these guys coming up like me coming up, they're all just different era, you know. These
É uma
guys
nova
are
era.
these-
Esses caras que estão surgindo,
like
assim como
the
eu,
Mastodons of the world, Robbie Lawlers of the world, Woodleys of the world. Like these guys are like what was over the hill when they fought them, you know. And I believe
esses caras já ficaram no passado.
When he successfully
uma
landed that
nova era.
takedown, the first one he did, and when you got up pretty quickly, do you think that was like a demoralizing factor that played into the fight for him?
Se foi desmoralizante
yeah,
conseguir
definitely. I
quebrar o
think, like
corpo.
my out grappling him, like I was able to reattack after he took me down and take him down. And
Eu tive a chance de dar a volta por cima quando ele me
like
derrubou.
he's kind of like threw him off a little bit, you know. And
Eu vi na
yeah,
cara
definitely,
dele, ele ficou assustado.
me grappling heavy, I think that definitely threw him off a little bit, you know. If he thought he'd be able to like dominate
O
me more in
fato
the
de eu
grappling,
ter
and it wasn't able
batido
to,
de
you know.
frente e superado ele na luta
Colby,
agarrada
when you
foi
look at
alguma
Colby's
coisa
past
foi algo
fights,
que
he
me
did
mexeu.
face a lot of grapplers and stuff, but I feel like some people might have not mentioned that he hasn't faced a complete guy like yourself in a while, other than like Usman and stuff. You think that's something that kind of went under the radar going into this fight?
Yeah, 100%. Because everyone has me down as a striker, but I keep saying like I'm a mixed martial artist, you know. And
Todo mundo me vê como striker, mas eu sou artista
I'm good everywhere the
marcial.
fight goes, you know. And these guys, I've
Eu
fought these
posso me
guys the
virar
whole
bem
career,
onde a
boxing,
luta
wrestling
for.
kind of style. They're all like from now to my next 3 fights, they're all similar. Bill Hours will be exactly the same. Wrestling, boxing.
Agora-
Usman, Kobe, they're all the same. You know, I feel like
Kobe e Usman são sempre a mesma coisa, o Belal é a mesma coisa, boxe, wrestling, e eu vou estar sempre variando estilos e lutando de
And
maneira
last one for me,
diferente.
I know these guys aren't in your division, but there was a little scuffle inside the crowd between Sean Strickland and Dricus Duplessis. I mean, did you get to hear about any of that?
I did, yeah, I saw the video.
Eu vi o vídeo da briga.
You know, like, if Dricus talk shit, you should be able to back it up. And like I said,
Se Dricus falou besteira, ele devia ser capaz de
Leon down here, Gio.
de manter. Então, faz parte do jogo.
You talked about George St. Pierre's record.
Você falou sobre o recorde de St-Pierre.
Yeah.
This is your second. Do you believe that you have the skill set to surpass that?
Você acha que tem a
record?
habilidade para superar?
100%. Like, why not? You know,
100%.
like, no one thought I'd be able to be world champion. You know what I mean? No one thought I'd be able to defend it. No one thought I'd be able to do what I'm doing, you know. But I got a
Ninguém
solid team
lutou
behind me. I
para
got belief in myself.
campeão, para defender o
And,
título.
even got a lot of respect for George, but I
Tenho
truly
muito
believe that.
respeito pelo
You know,
George.
George messaged me last night.
George mandou mensagem
press
ontem à
conference
noite.
to what happened, and just I was giving advice on how to like I was channel my energy into a positive light.
Sobre
So I got a lot of respect for him.
a confusão na coletiva de imprensa, sobre canalizar minha energia, deu alguns
I consider him
conselhos.
the GOAT, you know, so I want to surpass
Eu
him.
vejo ele como
I
o maior de
definitely
todos os
got skills to do
tempos.
that, you know.
And it seemed that you're pretty fluid when it comes to a timeline for a return. UFC 300, April 13th, would that be an amazing opportunity for you? Or?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Like, but like I said, on
Vai ser interessante, por que
get
não?
back to like get me a time on the card. That would be the number one choice to fight in the UK again. But if that's an
Meu
option,
objetivo é lutar na Inglaterra de novo,
Talking
mas é uma
about Sean Strickland, I don't know if you saw him leap to your defense and defend you about what.
Yeah. I seen it. But I was like 45, like calling like middleweight like fights, and what he said was true. You know, like so I might message him after this and say, you know, like fair play to what he said. You know, and even though he acts like a mad guy, but clearly he's got heart,
reagindo
he's a
como
man,
falou.
and Kobe ain't a man. You know, and
Ele é um
so,
homem, como o
fair
Covington
play
não
to
é
him.
um homem. Então eu mandei mensagem para ele
I
para
asked you this
agradecer
before the
pelo que
fight.
ele falou.
I don't know if this has changed since you've shared the octagon with him. Do you think that this adds anything to your legacy, or
It's just another guy in the way. I said it before the fight. You know, he's just a.
É só mais um cara, não adiciona tanto
on my quest to be the best of all
É
time, you know,
mais
and I didn't
adversário da
take
minha
it personal
caminhada
until he said what he said, you
para
know,
me tornar o maior
and
campeão.
then it changed a lot for me. As far as like
Não
how
muda
to
muito
approach the
para mim
fight.
ter o Kobe
It
Covington.
took a lot for me to like just like switch it all off, and even like yesterday at the weigh-ins, I was still fuming, you know, and but I had to like switch it all off and go out there and compete, you know.
Kobe, one here. Kobe is in here, and he sort of doubled down in his comments about your late dad, just saying, "You wild, I feel bad for him." Is that something that you expect from me off the fight?
Fala que o Covington manteve de comentários sobre o pai dele.
I don't know how to answer that, bro. To be honest with you, It is what it
Eu
is.
não quero responder isso.
Hey, Leon, you were feinting the knee quite a bit. Do you think that made him think twice about wanting to shoot on you?
Yeah, for sure. Especially I was throwing like teeps to his stomach, and
Acho que as fintas e os chutes da
faking the knee,
barriga
because he shoots always to the right side.
fizeram ele pensar duas
I
vezes.
thought the coach kept saying like, keep teeps going, keep fainting it, you know, and I think the switches of my stance as well.
Meu técnico falou bastante de base, fintar o chute da barriga e também chutar a barriga dele.
I could see him come from a mile away. He threw the same slow uppercut, the same hook cross. They did the same thing for the whole fight.
Eu
He
conseguia
didn't
ver
compromise with him. He didn't
milha de
do
distância
anything
sempre,
different from what he did
ou
for the
uppercut.
last 5 fights. You know, I feel
Ele
like
está
that,
fazendo a mesma coisa nas
that
últimas
shows
semanas.
that this is a guy that makes excuses for himself. You know, like he blames everyone
Ele é
around
cara que
for his
cria desculpas para
losses.
tudo.
Even Kamaru broke his jaw. He's like, "Oh, Mark, stop the fight." Just blame Mark.
Camaro
Shit.
quebrou
Maybe
a
go
mandíbula
back,
dele
improve
e
yourself,
mesmo
like
assim ele
work in
reclamou
areas
dele.
that you could improve and come forward, you know. And but
Ele é um cara que, em vez de procurar evoluir, está sempre procurando.
This week at the Worlds. I guess how does that feel? You know, Fighter of the Year, Knockout of the Year, Upset of the Year. Like, how does that make you feel?
now it feels good, man. It's been like 2 years of pandemic. Remember when it took me out the rankings and all that shit I went through. So now, man, sitting on top, laughing at everyone, and got my belt, second title defense, winning awards. It feels good. It feels it's a credit to me, it's a credit to my team, for the work we're putting in, the belief that we got in ourselves when no one else did, and I'm just
Pouca
proud of
gente
myself, you know.
acreditava, a equipe sempre acreditou.
Which win feels better to you, beating Kamaru or beating Colby?
Qual vitória você se sentiu melhor?
Probably in Kamaru, because he was the meant to be the goal, you know, and
Provavelmente
to
Kamaru
get
porque
it
ele era
off him, you know, that therefore nothing tops that, you know, and obviously Kobe's a dick, so that was also a great win, but for us like
Foi uma grande
achieving a
vitória,
goal, a lifetime goal, being Kamaru was the win, you know.
And finally,
Mas
for me,
ganhar do
if you
Camaro
had
foi
your
mais
way,
especial.
You know, there are a few people out there who do you want to fight next? I know you don't really like to call people out.
Yeah, but I'm the champ. I need to call none of them out, you know. So
Sou campeão, não preciso
I'll sit
desafiar
back, I'll
ninguém.
speak to the UFC, speak to my team,
Você
we'll
tá
make a
esperando
decision.
você
I'd like to be active though, you know. I won 4
Eu
times
quero
this
ser,
year.
eu quero
I'd
continuar
like to
ativo.
fight 3-4 times this year, so
Quero lutar 3 ou
I'll
4
speak to my
vezes.
team and let's figure it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ergue os braços. Acabou, hein, rapaziada. Leon Edwards aí posando com o cinturão. E ficamos por aqui, né? Essa foi a coletiva de imprensa do UFC 296, o último evento do UFC no ano. Muito, muito, muito obrigado a quem ficou comigo aqui até 5h30 da manhã. Só dar um bisu aqui, ó. Dia claro no Rio de Janeiro. Mas é isso. Obrigado pela companhia de vocês durante essa longa coletiva de imprensa, durante também o evento, que foi espetacular. E vejo vocês ano que vem. Mas fiquem ligados no canal do Super Lutas, que vai ter novidade aí ainda essa semana. Ao vivo eu vejo vocês ano que vem, mas teremos conteúdos aí no canal. É isso. Forte abraço e até a próxima.